Yo, salute. Knicks real talk, man. Divine. About to get out my grind, hop in the Black Knight. About to make it happen, man. Knicks real talk. We all over the place. About to get it popping. Divine, Bronx, Jedi, 7-6. The night show, the morning show. Knicks real talk, man. About to get in the Black Knight.
Knicks real talk. Let's get it popping. We hopping like topping in the Jumpman brand. Ain't no stopping. Divine and Bronx, Jedi, 7-6. We live from Facebook, Twitter, to Twitch, and all that shit. We number uno with the promo that blow like nitro. Now the streets are buzzing, so we flow with the night show. So spike them lights below. That thumbs up, run them up, and you double up. Cause it's Knicks real talk, and we on the come up. We'll salute to the cats in the chat. So where it's at, now you place a chat. When I pace that under space, while I place it at. Lace these cats with news, notes, stats. Game recap, no hyperbole, we straight facts. In fact, we say it lit like a candle through our panel on the banner. We violent, so subscribe to the channel. Let's be more people. Knicks real talk. Knicks real talk.
Yo, salute. Knicks real talk, man. The night show, Divine, Bronx Sports Jedi, BX Sports Jedi in the building. The Sunday night cast, man. We here tonight. Gonna cut up a little bit of Knicks talk, some trade talk, free agency. Get into the draft. BX gonna break that down as well. We got a lot of things popping off tonight. So salute to everybody out there. Out there streaming in, man. Port Nights already in the building. Tim Smith in the building. Salute to everybody on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, wherever you're checking us out from, man. We ain't here, man, on a Sunday. Just chilling, man. About to cut up a little bit for the night before everybody get on their weekday grind starting tomorrow. So we glad y'all in here tonight. We're going to get it popping, man. But let me bring in my partner in crime, my co-host, Bronx Jedi. What's going on, my brother?
What's going on, Devar? How you doing? How doing everybody out there in YouTube? Salute to Tim Smith. Salute to Pudge Nice, man. Divine, how was your weekend so far?
It was good, man. So good so far. Family in town, man. Just enjoying the family a little bit, man. But it's all good, man. Glad to be a part of this, man. But it's been good. Been a nice weekend. Life raining a little bit over where I'm at, but it's been good though, for real.
Oh, awesome, man. I know we got a lot to unpack tonight. I can't wait. We have draft is about a few days away. A lot of draft talk, a lot of trade speculation. We a lot of different things going on, but let's do it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, salute to my man, Zach, for the love of the game. So I couldn't be with y'all today, man. But like I said, family in town, just trying to be a host and all that good stuff, be a good son and all that good stuff. But yeah, man, it's crazy right now. The draft about to come up next week, and everybody gonna be ready to get into that. We're gonna break that down, man, and get into all the good stuff tonight, man. So I hope y'all get ready to enjoy the show. Me and Beard's gonna cut it up a little bit, man, and we're going to bring the panel in, whoever want to chime in later on. But, we got to, get it popping right now. And, yeah, man, the draft is coming up, man. We got, a lot of talk out there. The Bill might want to look like he might want to leave Washington. They got the Kawhi Leonard thing they talking about been out there lately, man. So the two latest trade rumors and then free agent rumors that's out there. And we're going to get into that later on. And, we're going to talk about this draft upcoming, man. It's some nice prospects up there. The Knicks got some picks that they got a chance to do. Been a lot of talk about them moving up in the draft to see if they can get a higher seed. So we're gonna see how that go. We're gonna make sure we keep it moving, man. So let's start off with this draft thing, BX. I know you had a great mock draft, man. If y'all didn't check that out, y'all go on BX Sports Jedi. He had a nice mock draft. It was his own ideas of the draft, the way he felt about it, the way he break it down, which was great because he gave the perspective not from everybody out there in the mock world, from his own world. And I think y'all should check that out. I think it was dope, man. So let him break that down to you, man, and we'll talk about that as well. And we'll talk about the players. Real quick. What I do is before we get into that, let me throw up who's up there in the draft on the screen for all y'all don't know. They got number 1, Cad Cunningham, point guard, 6'8", 220. Jalen Green, shooting guard, 6'5", 172. Evan Mobley, center, 7 foot, 215. Jalen Suggs, Gonzaga, 6'4", point guard. Brock Knight, at the 5 spot, they got projected here. I'm a shooting guard, 6'5". Jonathan Kuminga, small forward, 6'8". Congo, we got Scotty Barnes, Florida State, 6'9", small forward. Davion Mitchell, point guard, 6'1". So, we going after the 8th pick, Josh Giddey, Wagner. We'll break down some more. But, we got Moody at 11, Chris Burks at 12, Keon Johnson at 13, Butler at 14, Gerard Butler, Sergen from Turkey at 15, Miles McBride, West Virginia, 16. We got Primo from Alabama, 17, Zaire Williams, 18, Gubar at 19 from Spain, Duzmono from Illinois, 20, Jalen Johnson from Duke. They got projected at 21 on this draft, BX. They got Jalen Springer from Tennessee, projected 22, Cameron Thomas, LSU, 23, Cal Jones, 24, JT Thor, 25, Trey Murphy, keep an eye on that for the Knicks as well. They like what he's doing. He came in there, had to work out at number 26, Chris Dutte, Oregon, number 27, Cooper from Auburn, 28, Edwards at Pepperdine, number 29. We got Highland from VCU, number 30, Trey Mann, Florida, 31. We got Isaiah Jackson, who I'm big on, from Kentucky at 32, Brandon Ball from Kentucky at 33, Henry, 34, Michigan State, Quentin Grimes, Houston, number 35. We got Wisecap, Iowa, number 36. Joseph Christopher, Arizona State, number 37. So there's a lot of guys in there, BS, that we really can get into. And Pud Knight likes Murph. So let's get into that, man. You give me your thoughts and ideas on that and how you're gonna break that down for the crew.
You wanna, guys? You just tell me a name. I could give you the best as possible where I think that player might go. And instead of, because we could stay here all night breaking down 1 to 30, 1 to 30. My thought, but it's up to you guys. You want Trey Murphy? I could go up Trey Murphy where I think he's gonna go. We'll love him for the New York Knicks, but I think he might get scooped up a little early. His stock has been rising high. I'll find him on my board on there. Let's see. And I thought I had him. I had him up forward. If I'm not mistaken, I think I got him around 16th, if I'm not mistaken, or 17th. No, I got to look at my notes there, guys. Bear with me because I have written all over the place there. But I had him, a couple. If not with the Knicks, I had him with the Lakers because if he comes dropping down, but who knows with that? He has a really good upside. He could shoot. He has. I'm trying to find his whole numbers because like I said. Give me another name out there that you guys would like me to talk about. Salute to Josh, aka Uncle Fulio. We're just trying to see where the Knicks might there. But just to give you a quick synopsis on my draft board for the New York Knicks on my page on the video, I've got the Knicks picking Sharif Cooper out of Auburn, a 20-year-old point guard, and at 21, I got him going for. If it wasn't Trey Murphy the third, I was going to Chris Duarte. I think Chris Duarte might be there for the New York Knicks, 24-year-old out of Oregon, 6'6", a wing. He's averaged 17.1 point game, 4.6 rebounds, 2.5 assists. He shot 53% from the field. He shot 81% from the free throw line and a 42% 3-point shooter. He's 24 years old. And it'll fit the motto of the Knicks, like they say, oh, we don't want to play rookies, the narrative or the stereotype. But he's 24-year-old seasoned guy who could just come in and plug and play. If the Knicks don't make a trade or if they don't move up, if they stay where they're at those two picks, then I think those are the type of guys. If they fall in their lap, I think those are the type of guys that are there. And I got also for the next pick at 32, I think they get Isaiah Jackson, but I think it's a little bit of a reach. I think he might get scooped earlier than 32. He might even go to the Brooklyn Nets at 27 if he's out there, if he's still available around, because they need a center help. So they could save their money and pay only 1.5 to get him in there at 27th pick. And he's supposed to be the number one shot blocker in the draft. Salute to 19 Con Man. Any name that you want me to break down here that I could see Divine?
Yeah. I definitely like, for me, I like Isaiah Jackson. I think that Kentucky connection, like I said in one of the previous shows, I think 6'10", power forward, who can come in and back up Mitchell Robinson down the line. I think that'd be real intriguing for the Knicks. Kentucky connection, I think that helps out. Having a good big man coach like Kenny Payne would do wonders. So I think that might be real intriguing for me. And I definitely like Murphy, 6'9" wing. He could get it. And obviously my man for me is Moses Moody. You know what I mean? I think he's going to be a sleeper in there as well. Not much sleeper, but I think he's going to do well in the NBA. So I would love to see that to make it happen. Put nice. I heard we may swap with the Warriors for the 14th. Wow, that'd be interesting.
Yeah,
That'd be
that Moses Moody, the guard I see him at 19. He's 18 years old, 6'5", 205 pounds. He averaged 16.8 points a game, 5.8 rebounds, 1.6 assists. He shot 42.7% from the field. He averaged a steal a game, a 0.7 blocks. He's also 81% from free throw line and 35.8 from 3-point line. He'll get better. They compare his game to similar to Andrew Wiggins, Caris LeVert type of player, that kind of forward. So we can see if that's something possible. This draft is full of wings and guards, and up and down, and you could come away with some good quality players, that you could bring in there and really contribute in limited minutes until they get their NBA body, get NBA ready. But there's talent. There's a plethora of talent and an influx of talent in those positions. I see. We wrote Cooper at 19, Duarte 21, Josh Christopher at 32. That makes a good sense. Josh Christopher won't probably be there if Utah or Phoenix don't pick him up. It could be there. And another sleeper, Isaiah Livers, 58. Yeah, I can see that there. I think they'll end up getting Boston Jr. from Kentucky at 58, just because he's a Kentucky player. And I think they'll just take a flyer and put him in the G League and try to develop him on the Kenny Payne. So I could see that at 58, that young man. But who knows with the Knicks, how they go with that there. Let me see. Guards and wings is how you win in the NBA. I absolutely agree. That's why you see that the way they're moving, the way the NBA is moving towards that. But also, one common denominator, you do need that center. You need that good center, athletic rim runner, defender. You saw Aiden. You saw, what Giannis is not a center, but he's big. The height and the length on that. I'm not, so yeah, I agree with you on that, Uncle Julio.
Yeah. I think a do trade worked out for the Knicks solo workout without nobody there the other day. So that was interesting. They brought him in as a solo workout. So that definitely be interesting to see if he on the Knicks' radar and and what they do with him. And so he's projected right now, 27th in this down. And one of these boys coming out of Oregon, but I don't think he's gonna fall that low. I think he might be able to move up a little bit. So we'll see, because like we are also hearing that the Knicks are looking to trade up. You know what I mean? Right. So that will be interesting to see if they're going to maintain and move up in that nature. And I understand what for the love of the game. What do you mean by who question? I'm just kind of bring me into what you're saying so I can kind of reiterate on that.
Isaiah Jackson, Noel. Yeah, that they claim that. They say he's like Nolan's Noel, Divine. Yeah, or with hands. Okay. Yeah. Mm. Oh, for the love of the game, is it Chris Duarte you talking about?
Duarte. Yeah, I'm sorry, Duarte. I might have pronounced his name wrong. Yeah, he came in and worked out for the Knicks.
Oh yeah, okay. I think he'll be there.
I missed it.
I think he might be there at that pick at 19th. I think he might be there. The reason, the fact is, because you got guys ahead of him who are projected a little more. I guess more projected in the board. Like the guys like Book Knight, Devin Mitchell, Moody, and so forth. So he could be there. What you guys think about Jericho Sims, center from Texas? Well, if Julio, are you talking about maybe pick number 32 or 2021? Because if they're gonna go 19th with the center, then might as well get Isaiah if they're gonna go 19th. But if it's for pick 32, and even maybe the 21, a backup center, who never know? What are your thoughts on that, Divine?
Sims is nice. I like Sims out of Texas. I think he could do well. So I can see that definitely being a possibility. But I just think with that boy is 6'10", 245. You know what I mean? He is senior too, and that's good because he done did 4 years. So I think that bodes well for them, because they like them guys who already had enough time in the game. So when they come into the NBA, it's not as heavy on them because they played 4 years in college. You know what I mean? And that's the Phil Jackson model. You know what I mean? You can get them guys who've been around for so many years. Then when they bring them in here, they close to ready. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean I can see that as well, but I do think because of that Kentucky connection, hopefully they're not doing it because of the connection, they're doing it because of a better player. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
And that's what I'm hoping is no matter what the connection, if Sims, they think Sims can give you more than Isaiah Jackson, then you go with Sims all day. And I think that would be person I would think about. But I do agree with 19 comment. He ready, so that might be interesting. Like I said, for the Knicks to bring Duarte in there, and he got a workout by itself that showed you that the Knicks are really interested in him. You know what I mean? So and I think that would be interesting to see, man. Like Paul said, man, y'all hit the like button, man. Subscribe, run them up, the thumbs up, man. Y'all hit them up. Me and BX in the building, and salute to everybody out there, man. We appreciate y'all checking in. Yeah, man, but it's some nice guys in there, man. But I'm really hoping if we do move up, you already know pretty much where I'm at with the Davion Mitchell, and but another name at up high them and that Corey Crisper. I mean, I know people forget about that young man, but he's another guy that's going to be interested in the reason why I bring his name up at the small forward, depending on what they do with Reggie Bullock, you know what I mean, or and things of that nature. So if they do bring in another one, or if they bring in another small forward. But that guy, 6'7", shooter, senior, played 4 years. You know what I mean? So that's why he's intriguing as well. And I haven't heard too much. Many people talk about him in the mock draft for other teams. But I don't have a problem with him. Davion Mitchell, Moses Moody, I love out of Arkansas. I just think he's gonna be special to me. I think he's a hard go getter. And the Knicks talked to him at the draft. They didn't work him out, but they talked to him at the draft combine. I was reading about what he was telling us about when he had a conversation with Leon Rose and Tom Thibodeau and all them guys, because they did talk to him at the draft combine in Chicago. So he's another player that might be interesting. David Duke of the Kendrick Nunn of the draft. Okay, for love of the game. I see that. Crisper and Trey Murphy III, both 50, 40, and 90 players. That's legit right there. That's definitely legit.
Corey Crisper is 22 years old, 6'7", 220 pounds. He averaged 18.6 points a game, 5 rebounds, 1.8 assists. He shot 52% from the field. He's an 87% free throw shooter, or 44% from 3-point land. And he's the best shooter in the draft. They're calling him. The best pure shooter in the draft. He plays like a Danny Green / Joe Harris type of player. And that's something that the Knicks could use on this team. But could they move up to 14th? He'll be there. I think he'll be there at 14th. Also another name, if you're looking at that type of player, that kind of impact, that could shoot like that. You also got Franz Wagner from Michigan. 19 years old. He averaged 12.25 game, 6.5 rebounds, 3 assists. He also shot 47.7 from the field. He has 34.3 from 3-point land. He's like a Harrison Barnes type of player. Gordon Hayward, Harrison Barnes, Nicholas Batum type of player. Keep an eye on that. The young German descent from that played for Michigan for Juwan Howard. That's another name if they want to go with that type of player. 6. That at that height. It could be something the Knicks could move up and look for. That's gonna be interesting on that there. And you got teams. You got to keep an eye on those teams with multiple picks in the top 10 in the lottery. Orlando is one of them. The Golden State Warriors, Oklahoma City Thunder. They have multiple. They have 3 picks in that. Before we even select, they get to pick 3 guys ahead of us. So that could be interesting. You want to send a Kevin Knox and try to get there, try to move up. With one of Oklahoma City Thunder. Either I don't think they'll give the 6, but at the 16th pick, you never know. They might that's something. If there's a player that they really covenant and they really want, and they're afraid that there's a team ahead of them that might want to take that kind of play away from them and will disrupt their draft, they might want to move a guy like that, Kevin Knox, and move in there, or even to move their pick with the 58th pick and try to move up those drafts. You never know with that. But it's going to be interesting to see how they move up and down the draft board, and there's always going to be a couple teams that will try to reach. So you never know.
Yep. Real quick, Pud Nice has said earlier in the chat about the Knicks might be possible swapping with that Golden State for that 14th. They got Crisper's projected at 11. Golden State would be a nice fit for him. You know what I mean? That would be a nice pick for the Golden State with that 14 Chris Bird, because I think with the way they move, the way they play their offense out there with Steph, Clay, and Draymond and all them guys. I think he'd fit right in as a youngster who can knock down that three ball with them. So you got to keep an eye on that Golden State thing. That was a good one. Part nice, because I do think if the Knicks trade that 14th, what do they have to give up? They got to give up. I don't know. I wouldn't trade. I don't think I would trade the 19th and the 21st for the 14th.
No,
You know what I
don't
mean?
think so.
I wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? But if it's a way they can get to that without giving up both of them, number one, maybe that in the 32nd, you know what I mean? It might be different, you know what I mean? And then you still have that 21st, or let's say you do the 21 and the 32nd, if Golden State willing to do that, that would be interesting for sure. And we may
Actually, I got him on my mock. I got my mock draft. I actually got Corey Crisper going to the Golden State Warrior at 14. We're going there because he fits what they need. They're a win now that needs to retool, and I think he fits the narrative with those guys on opening drive. Where they move the ball around, and since he shot over 42% from 3-point land, and he's a good shooter, the best shooter in the draft. You put him on that Golden State Warriors where they where they could space the floor. That'd be interesting. That'd be a nice fit for them.
Yeah, it would. It really would. I think so. And like Paul said, Golden State trying to get rid of that Wiggins contract. That's why I think we had spoken about that maybe like a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. That I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks did that. Just to, if you take on a Wiggins contract not because of a salary dump, but because he can play a small forward spot with us, and then you get the 7th and the 14th, and you might have to swap our 2 picks. I mean, that could be a win-win around for both teams. We get the small forward who can give us 20 a game. Basically, he's above average defender nowadays, and you get the 7th and the 14th. Man, you know what I mean? That would be special right there. I mean, then you could plug in between the 7th. I mean, you got Scotty Barnes, where I think he's gonna go to Florida State, but you still got let's say Davion Mitchell at the 8th. You got Giddey at the 9th. You got Wagner at the 10th. Moody at the 11th. So I mean, you definitely can go a lot of ways with that. You know what I mean?
Yep. All rumors I heard.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, that's what Park Nights. We know a lot of it is rumors, but and speculation and all that. But we got to throw it out there because it's possible. It makes sense and for both teams, because people got to remember one thing: the Golden State Warriors is luxury cap strapped. You know what I mean? The luxury cap strapped, big time. So I think they to think about it. If they got the 7th and the 14th, that 7th going to cost them about what, $7-8 million. You know,
some in that range, yeah.
In that range, yeah. Whatever they pay them $7-8 million, and then you got the 14th going to be about $2 million. So that you're looking at almost $10 million right there on a cap hit for them. And with them being over the luxury tax, you never know what Golden State might do. You know what I mean? They might want to wheel and deal just to get out of that situation that they're in. So it'll be interesting to see how they get down with that.
They're willing. They probably would like to trade with someone in deeper, like anywhere from 20. Just because it's going to be like 2 million to 1 point, anywhere from the 2.2 million to the $1 million, if they, depending if from 20 anywhere in the 20s to sign there, and they might just want to go back, and as long as and also if you want to take away a salary, one of their high price salary, could that be done? I could see that being done, so they just get relief. You could, you can't sign both to 14 and 7 no cap. I agree, Nanti comment. That's why I think that it might make sense for them to move back there, and try to get something like that, or even here's another crazy scenario. Who knows? This is all guessing, guys. Don't lynch me. Brooklyn could just turn around and try to make a trade and move up and try to get cap relief or whatever the case, or Phoenix. They so close and they're not getting the CP3 pick. They could try to go to state and make a move. All those type of things, kind of crazy moves outside of the box thinking there, just to try to move there. We know that some of these teams in the upper later draft doesn't have the cap space. I know Utah doesn't have much cap space, and they won't be able to move. Houston sits pretty with pick 23 and 23 and 24th. Can you talk with a deal with maybe get one to the Golden State, the 7th, and give up those 23 and 24 and move there, and then they could possibly unload a Wiggins and get for a future draft, for the couple years, somebody else's number one picks later down the road, and so they get cap relief. They still get picks at 24, 23, and they get to move that 14th for capital. You never know. Those type of wheeling deals, those type of creativity could help them and they could try to retool for the short term, but also keeping an eye in the long term as well. Those are things that could be done.
Yep, true. Salute Greg Peterkin in the chat. Salute, we see you, Greg. He said Dutre is the best in the draft quietly. I salute you on that one, man. Absolutely. He's one of the top ones in there. Yeah, man. So salute to my man Greg for hopping in on the show, man. Greg, you already know, man. Like and subscribe, man. Hit the button. Knicks Real Talk. Thank you for chiming in, being part of the chat. We appreciate you for sure. Yeah, man. But you know what? I'm ready for next week. I'm excited to see what's going down, man. I think we got a lot of good scenarios, but we do got to keep an eye on that. And I think I was hearing something about Woj was saying that Sacramento with the 9th and New Orleans with the 10th might be looking to do something with that. But I got a feeling they're going to try to throw that Eric Bledsoe in there, and I just don't think that's going to happen. I don't know if anybody want to take that Bledsoe contract just to get that number 10 pick. So we'll see how that go. What would a trade for Wiggins and a 14th pick look like? 19. That's a good one, man. I pretty much can say them back picks. Who we got on the contract that we're gonna help cover that salary. It depends on when they do it, because you got to remember this here. If we could trade them guys we got right now, like the Burks and all them, before the free agency market, I don't know if they can. That means Golden State might like that because all them aspirants. You know what I mean? So say like hypothetically you throw in Peyton, Bullock, whatever guys we got in free agency, and then they sign them, then they cut them because they on aspiring deals. I mean, I don't know if they could do that. It might make sense because now they get that cap relief. You know what I mean? If you can sign them now, trade now. I mean to say you trade them guys right now for Andrew Wiggins, then I could possibly see that happening. And then 19 Khan put out there. He said 21. 21 and Dallas 2023 first. Obi, Knox, and Luka might work. Woo!
That's a little bit too rich. And then they got to remember Obi signed for like $7-8 million because remember he was the 7th pick of the draft. Knox is at $6 million, so 6.5 or 6 million. And I think Luka is like $3 million. So you're looking at almost close to 20 million for Wiggins. I don't know what cap relief.
31, around 31.
Okay, so what really cap relief are you really giving Golden State if you're sending all those plethora of players? Unless if it's a 3-team deal, that's the only way I could see that. Salute to Allah Wise. I'm glad to see you there.
Salute Allah, peace. Yeah, that's it. So like I said, I'm trying to think about a trade that happened early in the year when the season was over. It just recently, not too long ago, happened with one of these teams. So I mean, they made
the Boston deal,
right? With Boston, with them and Kemba Walker and them. Now, that was done when the season was over. Am I correct?
Like I think the playoffs was going on pretty much when that happened.
So that's the reason why I wonder if you do Alex Burks money, Peyton money, Noel's money hypothetically, and Golden State just say, okay, they done with them because they all aspirants. You know what I mean? I would wonder if they would do that, knowing that they could get that cap relief from them guys. And,
you need to send 60% of the player's salary, right? I'm not, that question. I don't know the answer. I'm be sincere and honest with you. Probably so. I'm gonna be totally.
I think it's 60 or 70. Con. Yeah, you do have to. I think it's either 60% or 70% is within them two numbers. And you do. And so like they can still with the trade he proposed, they can do it because they will be in that range. In that range, that 60% range. So I think they can get that off for sure. So we'll see, man. Salute to the chat. 19 Con, Allah Wilds, Greg Perkinson just came in, man. My man Pug Knights in the building. 19 Con for the love of the game was up in here, man. Y'all need to go out and highlight my boys down there for the love of the game podcast. They get it popping off down there. Zach, Worldwide West, Lawrence, I'm saying all them guys, man. Y'all go down there and and check them brothers out. They be getting it on down there. Man. Uncle Fulio was in the building. Tim Smith, in the building, man. So yeah, man. We got a lot of good scenarios with this draft situation. We just have to, let the Knicks do their due diligence, and put it all together, man, and see how it works. Other than Obi Toppin and Luca 19, them two guys I would love to look forward to next year to see if they can make it happen for the Knicks. But at the same time, if you can get Andy Wiggins, then you do what you got to do. But I would love to see Obi Toppin and Luca Valdoza really on the Knicks next year and see if they can bring what we need to help us. Because I know Obi going to have a better year. I like when I'm a BX man. I was looking at some Valdoza footage the other night, man. Listen, this kid is that passing is legit, man. He is. Oh my God, bro, that brother he got a vision. Him and Lonzo Ball right now probably got some of the best court vision I've seen in a minute with LaMelo too. Don't get me wrong, and that would be interesting.
Yeah, that is that.
And
I'm reading a tweet from Stefan Bondi. I'm saying that Knicks assistant Darren Ehrman has been working out with a group of young guys, and the group of guys is Obi Toppin, RJ Barrett, Kevin Knox, Emmanuel Quickly. They've been working out Saturday nonstop, over and over. So they're putting the work in, guys. They're putting the work in. They're and that's why last year we couldn't do this. Last year, due to the COVID restrictions, there was individual workout. Kudos to Randall that went into the gym and hired a personal trainer, and they went at it. But they're working with the assistants on not only the verbiage, the chemistry, the timing, and the rhythm, and also the wording of Thibodeau's offense and defensive assignments. So that's going to be big coming into next season. That growth and that maturation and the way they're marinating and the way they're getting to know one another. Summer League is going to be real interesting with that to see Quickly and Obi Toppin in there and with Luca Valdoza if he comes back from the Tokyo Olympics sooner than when the Summer League starts, but who knows? But we'll see how that goes, and that's a big thing that we need to look going forward with that.
Yeah, absolutely. What's interesting too, man. After that USA defeat today, you know what? That's going to be crazy because I think a reason why I bring this up because these international players, being over in Tokyo, people get to see them. A lot of American people get to see these guys play more than less. You know what I mean? And it's going to be interesting when you get to see these guys hands on, and now you get to see what they made of. Because the world is catching on to the NBA, man. A lot of these guys in these other countries, they starting to get it. They starting to understand the game. And I do believe that talent going to be much, like I said, everybody's not going to be Luka Doncic, but I think there's going to be a lot of them they're going to be just as, they're going to be getting better. They're going to come over here more prepared. And, and I think you got to watch out for a lot of these international players. Man, they're not like, to me, the old international players where they just was, I think a lot of these guys is really going to make a difference down the line. Luka is being slept on because he's from overseas. I believe he's pretty our best point guard. Hey, Greg, man, I agree with you, man. I the tape, the camera don't lie. You know what I mean? And I just been watching this guy, man, and some of the stuff he be doing. I watched a clip of him yesterday. I'm like, this cat is crazy nice with that ball in his hand. He see things that I don't think a lot of point guards see, man. And it's gonna be interesting how he get down for the Knicks. That's why I'm hoping we do give him a shot. Hope he comes to training camp and balls out. But I think we'd be in a good situation with the point guard situation. Like you said, we draft some guys, or like you said, Cooper. I know we were big on him, but even if we go the free agent route, with that, I'm comfortable with Derrick Rose, Luca Valdoza, and if you want to bring in another, young man like Cooper and these guys that you guys talked about, so I'm really ready to see what that's gonna do for us for sure.
Yeah, let's hope the league is not ready for Luca Valdoza. I hope so. Let's hope that he pans out. I hope that he becomes an NBA point guard, starting point guard. Enough with the role play, and we need an NBA starting point guard that takes the floor, a floor general, and leads us. If he becomes a backup serviceable for point guard, okay, I could live with that as well. But I'm hoping that they get a real point guard that leads the team, starter, and not just another backup. But it's okay if we do. Like I said, if Luca Valdoza still pans out and he still gives us a backup role, at least we know we got a good solid backup point guard in there. But it is what it is. But I hope that he does come and lights this season on fire, and hopefully we have the rookie of the year already. We don't have, before it even gets drafted. He's on the Knicks already. So let's just hope.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's going to be huge. I wonder. I think that could determine how they do go in the draft. just by him bringing him already.
Oh, no, I'm gonna
By him.
ask I'm gonna reply to Pudge. A nice
Oh,
I know I do like Vukovac as a point guard. As a starter, maybe if he's NBA ready, I have no problem with that. But I just said if it pans out, if he's a starter or a backup point guard, at least we got a point guard. You know, someone, even if we know that he's limited as a starting role, we got a point guard coming off the bench. I'm okay if he comes in either role, but as a starter, I don't mind if it's him. If it's Luka Valdoza, I have no problem with that. But if they could get themselves another point guard in the free agents or in the draft, then I don't mind Valdoza as the starter and your young point guard coming off the bench. Two with a Derrick Rose off the bench to mentor. I have no issue with that either. I have no problem with that. I'm got no opposed with that. But just be ready. Don't just I'm just having you ready in case Valdoza doesn't pan out as a starter, just in case. But I don't see why not. His game film and the way he translates, he could be the real deal.
mm-hmm. Yeah. I think so. I agree with you 100%. He's what we need in a point guard. The
Yeah,
reason why I like him because he's pass first, but he can also knock it down. He can get to the. It's nothing too much he can't do from what I see. The kid he's savvy, man. He got savvy. He's a real savvy ball player. I like his savviness, man. I like his vision is unbelievable. I mean, he just see things that I've seen a lot of cats saying a Nick guard. You know, the last true Nick guard, I'm gonna tell you no lie, who really had vision like that was Mark Jackson. See the floor. You know what I mean? This cat can see the floor from all places other than Jason. When we had that nice run, that little run with Carmelo Anthony. But he's one of them guys that we got to keep an eye on. So and I do think he can make a difference in whether the way we go in the draft. Because if he pan out, we might say, okay, we could draft a point guard, but it might be a priority. You know what I mean? Especially if he pan out and you got him for 4 years. You know what I mean? On a non-guaranteed. And if he pan out, then you got to give him his money. Yeah, that's what I mean. Get J Kid too. Salute, right? Absolutely. That's what I'm hoping that to do. But we got a lot of good situations with that, man. That draft. And real quick, man. Down on the free agent line. We heard the speculation about Kawhi Leonard the other day. They were speaking about he might not return to L.A. Clippers. The Knicks, Dallas. We know this is all rumors and speculation, guys, but we throw it out there because it is out there. But they were talking about that, Kawhi Leonard. Somebody didn't realize too, man. He only 30 years old, BX.
yeah, he's
I thought Kawhi Leonard, but he compared to Chris Paul, 36, Conley, 30, probably 35, DeRozan, 32. This cat's 30 years old. You know what I mean? And so I really think that he got a 34.379 player option, 34 million player option. Obviously, I think he's going to decline that, and whether even if the Clippers sign him back, he's going to decline that and go get his money. So that's going to be interesting as well to see the Kawhi Leonard. You had the Bradley Beal situation out there that was out there that he might decide that he might want out. And any time this stuff happens, the first team come to mind, everybody gonna link them to the Knicks. You know what I mean? Y'all know that. You know what I mean? But if these guys was available, how do y'all guys feel about a Kawhi Leonard coming to New York, man? In chat, let me know what y'all think about that because championship player, one of the best in the game, easy top 10. You know what I mean?
you're freezing up, Divine. Hopefully you get some technical difficulties. I know you say you had thunderstorms in your neck of the woods, and Divine will be right back. He just froze up a little bit, fellas. Kawhi Leonard coming to the New York Knicks will be I would like that myself because you don't giving up the farm to trade for him. You're able to bring him in here as via free agency, and you could put him around these teams. But personally, if I had a choice between free agency pickup between Kawhi Leonard or Damian Lillard, I will go with Damian Lillard. But the only reason why I wouldn't want Damian Lillard now because you got to trade so much to get him in here. So if I had to choose, yeah, Damian Lillard. To be honest with you. But Kawhi Leonard makes sense, financial sense right now because you're not giving up on Obi Toppin, Manuel Quickly and so forth, and you could bring him in here at the 4 and with Julius Randle and you could continue and you could, make your team better. Salute to my guy, Garden of Nick's podcast, man. I'm glad to see you here. Yeah, salute to everyone in the chat there. Kevin Woodridge, I'm glad you're here. I'm gonna read a couple of comments. Divine has the highlighter there, but he'll be back in a minute. He's having a little technical difficulties. It says excited time to be a Renew fan. I agree with you, Kevin. That it is on the tiny time. It says if we had the Dame trade, will have Dame, Covington, Randall, Mitchell plus 40 in cap space. Hey, that, but we lose so much with that. I don't know. It's just me don't want to give up the players that I'm in love. That have been with us in the grind. And it says here, hey, of course, hit that like. Big Chino, what's going on, man? I'm glad to see you here. I'm glad to hear. Divine will be in a moment. He's having a little technical difficulties, but hey guys, what do you think if you were to have one pick between Kawhi or Damian? Which one would you like? And we'll see with that. Divine, you're back. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah. Sorry about that, fellas.
Big D-Lo, what's going on, man? Big Chino's in the building, man. He's a good guy there. Follow me on Twitter, and we go back and forth chit-chatting. I'm glad you see you here. Yeah, we had a couple interesting stuff there, Divine.
Okay. Yeah, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that Kawhi Leonard thing, man, because I really think that's going to be interesting. Only one thing to remember, Valdoza is really a 25-year-old pro with a champion pedigree. I agree with you, man. He's been there already, and that's why I think that's intriguing. And like Kevin said, it's exciting time to be a Knicks fan because we got many options. And my man 90 commented, if we make the Dame trade, we would only have Dame, Covington, Randall, and Mitch plus 40 million in cap. That's not bad if you can put everything around it. But you're gonna have to go with the kind of like the minimal guys, but I think we still can make that happen. Your Garden Knicks podcast, salute, my brother. You already know what it is. To the chat, man, y'all in here, man. Salute to y'all, everybody, man. Let's get it popping, keep it moving. Y'all hit them like, subscribe, and run them up with the thumbs up, man. You know what it is. Yeah, man. Big Chino, you already know. So yeah, BX that Kawhi thing, man. You know, I'm 50-50 only because of the injury history, not because of the talent, not because of the money. I'm just concerned about the injury thing. That's the only thing that got me. Other than that, if none of our participants is don't mind, they not worried about the injury history, then I think if you can get the call from New York City at the small, you go ahead and make that happen.
Right.
Sure.
Divine, put the chat, the link to the chat. Maybe Tone Woon would like to join us, or anyone in the new faces would like to come as a panelist to talk it up, talk shop with us on some different. It's there. We encourage you, invite you, to be on the platform. Hey, Nick P, what's going on? What's going
salute,
on, man?
Nick, salute, my brother.
I was saying before when you were frozen, if we had just one choice between Kawhi or Damian, who would you pick? I like Kawhi fits because of the free agency. All you got to give up is cap space, and you keep the players. I personally would have, and Damian, you got to trade a whole lot. But if you straight up, who would you give me? I would have taken Damian Lillard, of course. But if it was a free agent, the circumstances don't fit the way, the better, young, even though Kawhi is a year younger, but Damian is what the Knicks need, but not with the expense of giving up the farm and all that. That's just my point of view.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You know what? I appreciate that, Big Chino. I drop a little here and there, man. Watch out for the new promo coming up pretty soon. That's gonna be fire too. And a lot of you cats is in there on that promo, the name wise. So we're gonna keep that moving too, man. The chat is where it's at. And y'all make the show. We don't make the show. Y'all do, man. So you already know. Yeah, man. I like the Kawhi thing because of, like you said, BX, it's a free agent signing. And we not gutting the roster and all that to get this guy in here. Damian Lillard, you're gonna have to gut a lot of stuff. But but I do think if Kawhi in free agency, that's fine because you get to keep some pieces. You still got money to do some other things. Now I'm with you, Kevin Woodbridge. I'm an Oubre dude. I like him too. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. That's gonna be interesting because I think with them not getting over that hump when he got messed that ACL in the playoffs with the Clippers against against Phoenix. I think that kind of probably left a bad taste in people's mouth. But you can't remember now. Don't root out the Mavericks or the Miami Heat neither. You know what I mean?
You know what both of those teams have in common, Divine? No state taxes. And Kawhi Leonard is a business savvy. He was driving an old minivan, I think, or pickup truck. Excuse me, a pickup truck, and he was also we're part of the coupon community. And he was out there shopping with groceries, shopping with coupons, saving $1 on toilet paper type of coupon guys in San Antonio. So He's a real frugal guy. And good for him. Absolutely. And those two cities with no when that state tax, with no state tax, and he'll keep more of that money. That could be a big play for him. Watch out on
Yeah,
that. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Him to pair with Luka Doncic would be crazy, you know. So that'd be scary as anything. And you know what? That's the type of player that Luka need because he need a dog down there. You know, he got players down there, but none of them guys is really like Kawhi Leonard. You know what I mean? Tim Hardaway and Porzingis that ain't no Kawhi Leonard. Let's put that out there. So you know it'll be interesting, man. You know, but we'll see how the Knicks go with that, man. They got, you know, I have no problem with him pairing him with Julius Randle and RJ Barrett if you could sign him in free agency. I really don't. You know, you don't lose RJ. Now you got an alpha with Julius Randle, and you still got an up and coming dude like RJ Barrett. You know what I mean? And so do you do that? And you know, and that's interesting. He said Luka's leaving soon. Laugh out loud. You never know, Pudge. You never know.
Fudge from your lips to God's ears, and let it be to God's ears, sending him right to the Knicks.
Right. Bring him on down, man. Bring him on down. Yes, indeed. Oh my goodness.
You know
man.
me, the trio that I want to see is Luka Doncic, Zion Williamson, and RJ Barrett. Give me that, and I'm happy as a pig in crap. You know, on the New York Knicks uniform.
Yeah, man. That's a possibility now. And even with the Bradley Beal situation, he's talked about maybe asking out of Washington. And I heard that real quick, guys, that the Lakers is closer to dealing with Russell Westbrook. They dangling Kyle Kuzma and Contavious Caldwell-Pope to anybody. To anybody. And I read this earlier today that they more closer to that. You know what I mean? So you know, it's gonna be flying around here, man. The Bradley Beal thing, that's interesting because I heard the Golden State Warriors would have loved to get him. But you know, everybody's on the Knicks radar, so we always got to put the Knicks in there because they did mention that too.
The heavy name that's favored for Bradley Beal is the Boston Celtics. He's great friends with Tatum. He wants to go there. They grew up together, you know, friends, and they played in the AAU together and so forth. And that's the relationship that's out there. And he's telling the Bradley Beal is considered a trade to the Celtics. You know, they have Tatum that they could offer. They're gonna try to get it without Tatum, but man, that's gonna be hard. And I see Legion Tom Wu wrote, I want Dame, Beal, Valanciunas with Randall and RJ as a starter. Wow, that's a nice team. That's a nice team. That's a nice team.
Salute Robert, my brother. We see you in here. Salute. Yeah,
Robert
you ain't.
Paul, what's going on, my man?
What's going on with you? Yeah, I want Dame, Bill, Valanciunas. Oh man, that would be. Oh God, that's fire.
That's a nice team, man. You got that center and you got out that, man. That's nice. Yeah. So watch out for Boston. They have a little more to offer than the Knicks player wise, because Tatum will trump over. You know, even RJ. I'm sorry to say that right now. I think would RJ be better than Brown? Who never know? You know, we got time to see for him to develop, but you know, Washington and then Westbrook said if that happens, you know, Westbrook wants out. So you know that could Washington do that? They could do that and get some picks. You know, actually the one that makes sense for Washington if they want to move Brio is Golden State, especially with that 7 and 14 pick. Andrew Wiggins coming back, you know, and maybe some future right to swaps later down the road. You know, that's something that will be phenomenal for Golden State if they want to do that. You know, for a Bradley Beal, definitely will be good to do that. But they have more in capital in trade wise, talent and player wise. If it's Boston, I think Boston has a little more because they also do have picks and they can move around with Tatum, you know, and so forth, or Robert Williams, or so forth, or whatever the case.
Right.
You know, whatever sexy they could put up together, whatever package they could put. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting. You know, I think the Knicks. Unfortunately, I think the Knicks are out of the Bradley Beal sweepstakes because of the plethora of talent that other teams ahead of us that could acquire him.
Yeah. Do you think that the Boston Celtics try to get him while keeping Jaylen Brown? I think they got to try to keep Jaylen Brown.
Oh, that's what their first step is. You know, they're going to say no at the table. But if in a pinch it takes that long, remember there was speculation from Kyrie Irving, from I think Rozier, and even and I know we don't like to talk about the behind the scenes stuff, and it's not because we're not there, and I hate to talk about those stuff, but they said that something wasn't right in that locker room, you know, with those players. We even heard it from, you know, Danny Ainge and Brad Stevens, you know, why he moved there, and remember he was on the hot seat. We thought Brad Stevens was going to get canned, but he ended up moving up for a reason because that something that wasn't fitting, wasn't clicking. So could we see a Brown move in the long story? Possibly because something's not clicking with them and I'm not utilizing the maximum potential with those two guys with that talent there. So who knows? I could see that happen. That's my point of view with that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I mean that if Bradley Beal go to Boston, Knicks got to step their game up, but that's deadly right there, bro.
Oh, absolutely,
Oh
absolutely.
God,
Yeah.
we have to make some moves to stay competitive because it's going to be hard to maintain that fourth spot again this year if we don't really make no moves because everybody they getting better. You know what I mean? And everybody add more talent. Like they already bought the center they need. They got Al Horford down there, so they done took care of that spot. Now and so it's gonna be interesting to see what Boston do with that Bradley Beal thing, and we got to really keep that in mind. But I wouldn't mind having Jaylen Brown down here in the Knicks. I always wanted him with the Knicks. I thought he would be nice. And he said Brown might go home to the Hawks. Oh my God.
Well, it could see that if they do a sign and trade for John Collins with the Celtics, Brown and sign to move it over there, to Boston and getting Brown over there to Atlanta, that could happen. Another name that we looking at with the draft, and it's remember first year coach, Rick Carlisle. We don't know what he's thinking, what he's implementing. Miles Turner name was coming up hot and heavy with the Warriors, talking engaging on trade as well. I like you said, they're so cap strapped. I don't know, how they must say they're hot and heavy because they got something in mind to make it work. Miles Turner's name has been shipped all over, ready to go. What did it? Obviously, Indiana doesn't like something in him. Him and Brandon, they see something that they don't want to see him there. So I don't know why they're shopping them around. Maybe because of money wise. But who knows what it is. Also, the Knicks were talking. Leon Rose also was engaged in a Miles Turner conversation again. So who knows what that's going to happen with him? That name keeps being thrown out a lot. And also, the Raptors had interest in trading for Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons, in the Toronto Raptors, could it be a sign and trade with Kyle Lowry? Give me Simmons contract, to get that there. That could be something that might come. I think that, to me personally, I think that's 70%. I think that might happen 70%, in my opinion.
Yeah, and another thing, BX, I like that one, 19 Con. I hope that I would love to see that come to fruition. Get Sexton this year and Levine next year. I would love that, no question. I heard that the Toronto Raptors they got Pascal Siakam in trade talks.
Siakam is also a name available in trades. I don't know why the Memphis Grizzlies. There was a few teams that were on the list on there, and it just made weird the teams that were interested in. I don't know if they're just throwing names out there to see who else wants to bite and compete with these teams. But some of them teams that I saw on the list didn't make sense with it. I'll look for the article or where it came from, and it just didn't. It was like, could it be just something, someone throwing it out out there to see if anyone, other executives or other team beat writers want to chime in and say something to see what they're thinking about. Since a lot of these beat writers do have the pulse of the team, ins and outs with them, and see if anything they could get some kind of tidbit or someone quickly to give out their hand. Who knows?
Yep. Hey, Robert Power, I agree with you 100% with that chat, man. One organization's trash might be another team's treasure. Just because a player can't fit in one system doesn't mean he won't fit. That's absolutely right. Some people they don't fit in certain spots. You know what I mean? And not because they're not good, because that type of play just don't fit their game. And even though as a player you want to be able to adjust to any situation, that's not every player. But sometimes you 100% right. That can make a difference, man. So it's a lot going on out there. I'm happy about it that we in the mix for a lot of it, because I do think we're gonna be in the fold for a lot of this stuff, man. And I just think that the Knicks got to keep doing their due diligence and stay part of course and make it happen. You know what I mean? Just get the players out here. Like I said, the Texan thing was heavy. That to me, if from a trade standpoint, that's the cheapest route. It's Colin Sexton for having to give up a lot of capital. And especially if you think he qualified and you think he's good enough to sign him to an extension, that's the easiest route to me. I love the Golden State situation that you guys talked about with Andrew Wiggins, the 14th to 7th, maybe for the 19th and this and whatever. You got to look at that avenue too, because like I said, you got to look at the situation that a lot of these teams are in cap wise. A lot of them strapped. A lot of them trying to shred salary for next year. Like BX said, we going into 2022 with the biggest draft class. The biggest free agent class probably in a minute. So a lot of these teams might listen, but we trying to stretch salaries. We gonna dump salaries. So when next year come, they can make it happen. I'll tell you another thing: the trading deadline this year coming up gonna be bananas.
Yeah,
The trading deadline is gonna be bananas. You know what I mean? Because especially if you see a lot of teams by the time the trading deadline come, they out of the playoff fold. They feel like they're not gonna get there. Then you have to really take that into consideration. Chris, salute, man. How you doing?
Hey, Chris.
I'm doing pretty good, Divine. How about you?
I'm good, man. Glad to have you on, man. We appreciate you coming in. You doing all right today?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Hey, Divine.
You just says.
There's something you need to read on Bleacher Report.
Mm-hmm.
It has something to do with my Oklahoma City Thunder. And my Thunder, I heard that they are interested into moving up for Kate Cunningham and Evan Mobley.
Woo!
Wow.
To
Mobley,
partner with Segues Alexander.
Wow, wow. That's a big thing. If Detroit moves away and away from Kate Cunningham, wow, that's something's wrong with the Detroit. But also that is the organization that did pass on Carmelo Anthony. Folks, remember that.
And you know what? And K from Oklahoma. You know what I mean? He played the Oklahoma's. So hey, you know, you never know. I mean, I can see that. I'm glad you brought that up, Chris. We appreciate that. Because I think that's real interesting. You know, with the amount of picks that they got, do you think Detroit will be willing to do that? I mean, and believe it or not, Oklahoma City can get them cats a lot. You know what I mean? They got a lot. So.
They could, but they need that player to change their fortunes in there. You know, and then, you know, that's what they. You know, you can't give away that generational type of changing player. Because you know they don't. Jeremy Grant, all-star, but I don't think he's that type of transitional player. You know, Josh Jacks. You know, Plumlee,
Sadiq Bey. In a minute, Divine and Jenny.
Okay.
Give me a second.
Yes, sir. No problem. Yeah. So I don't know. That's kind of man. You really got to examine the front office if they were to move away from a Kate Cunningham. Now they will go second, maybe if they, you know, and they. But I don't. I still won't. You got to take Cunningham, man.
Is that trade involving SGA?
I don't know. I haven't read it, so our guy is Chris who brought that up. You know, that'd be interesting to see. But there was a lot of speculation that Detroit didn't like the pick, or they were thinking about making a move. But I don't see. Man, it's hard. You never say never. Never say never. I don't want to discredit. Remember, Chris is entitled to his opinion and also what he read and saw. He's a, you know, but you know, wow, it'll be a wow factor on draft night. That were to happen. Wow, you know, and I'll just I'll stay with my mouth open.
Right. Hey, Canal said, did y'all see Memphis talking about taking Bledsoe and the 10th for the 17th?
Yeah, that's another one. That's another one.
I can see that happening in a sense because Memphis now they are a playoff team now, so they might be looking for more veteran experience there. You know what I mean? And Bledsoe, you know, his contract is not probably up pretty soon if I'm not mistaken. So I can see that coming into fruition for sure. You know, they get another guy to play the backup Ja Morant. You know what I mean? That's a veteran savvy. You know, been around for a minute, Kentucky ball player, know the game. I wouldn't put that past Memphis, and you know, and then when he aspires, so be it. You know what I mean? That's a real interesting one right there. Good one, Canal. Salute to you for popping in here. Everybody in the chat, man. Salute everybody on Facebook, Instagram, wherever y'all chiming in. Tell them Knicks Real Talk, Divine and BX Sports Jedi. You here, man? Just cutting it up, man. You're right. I think that is a good move by Memphis.
It is a good move for Memphis. Especially, you know, even if let's say Memphis at the trading deadline don't have the season that they thought and it doesn't look great, they could always move him again and get, you know, try to get a draft pick, you know, something for him, you know, so they could move him and something that's you know, it could be moved along with other players on there. You know, if they, you know, but they got Memphis got something going on good with Dylan and Morant, you know, and Valanciunas. They got something nice there. They got a little bit of a nucleus there, you know, with the center as well. You know, the kid that was hurt off, and I escapes my name all the time, but he's another one that could play there. Junior and it's just that Memphis. Watch out,
Yeah, absolutely. They got Dylan Brooks down there.
Yeah, I like Brooks. I love Brooks.
I love Brooks too. I love to see him in New York. He hard nosed, man. He got the mentality to play over here. So I love to see Dylan Brooks if he was over here for sure.
Jackson Jr. Thank you,
Jackson Jr.
Robert, for so many names and so many looking at these draft boards up and down with all these names, and then looking at the baseball trading deadline. I like my brain is like I need to do a fragment like a computer, just
Hey,
go there and take out all the other stuff out.
and early in the year, peep this here too. There was a report out of Memphis that the organization wasn't totally fully sold on Jaren Jackson Jr. because that, and remember, his father, where does he coach at? The G League for the Knicks.
Exactly.
Jaren Jackson Sr. You know what I mean? He's down in the G League with the Westchester Knicks. You know what I mean? What role he is, I'm not sure, but he's there. So these connections makes a difference. You know what I mean? You never know if Memphis they feel like they're ready to move on from Jaren Jackson Jr. Because like I said, when these guys start getting injured, then and it's a shame. Because that boy, listen, I don't have no problem with him coming to New York.
Yeah. One thing we forget to say, and we mentioned about that Jerry Jackson. I remember on Knicks Real Talk back in, I think if it was in April or March. I remember you mentioned that to keep an eye on that. And another thing that we forgot to the big impact. The biggest impact of all is CAA.
I'm back.
All right, Crush. The big impact of CAA. I think that the CAA family is going to bring one of those big time players to the New York Knicks organization just because of the connections. And don't. I'm gonna say it first. Don't rule out the fact. Remember, Thibodeau, former CAA client. Leon knows where he came from. Except, the whole line of the CAA impact or influence they have on the Knicks as well with the Kentucky, but the CAA, I think they're gonna bring one of their big time free agent clients into New York, just to do that. A CAA family is powerful, so that's gonna be a big impact. If not this offseason, with trades or look for it in the middle of the trading deadline or in the next offseason, CAA is going to have a huge imprint on the New York Knicks getting one of these kind of players, man.
Mm-hmm.
Salute to Camilio.
Yeah, Camilio, Chef New York, salute. Yes, sir, Chris. Go ahead, bro.
I also heard a rumor with the Knicks. This rumor was that the Knicks could get Damian Lillard and Kawhi Leonard.
Chris, that's been out there, and it's possible because Kawhi Leonard will be. I think he's going to opt out of that money, Chris. And if Dame went out of Portland, that's very possible. It's really very possible, and it's definitely been out there. And then, I
would have loved to see that.
Yeah, that would put us right there, man. Both of them.
I think we will compete with Milwaukee and Brooklyn for a championship.
Yeah, you get them.
And if we got Kawhi and Dame this season, I have the New York Knicks #1 in the East next year.
Yeah, I second that. I second that. That's some good firepower to have right there, man. Dreams can come true, Chris. So we're gonna pray on that one. Hey, real quick, man. Salute to the chat and everybody. Yo, let me plug the show right quick. 30 seconds. We'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. Knicks Real Talk, Devon and BX Sports Jedi. We just gonna plug the show right quick, man. You know how we doing. We gonna be right back, man. Salute to everybody. Yeah, we back, man. We appreciate that. Knicks Real Talk, man. We in the building, man. We got the chat on fire. Yeah, we got Chris in the building. We got the chat on fire. Everybody up in here, man. Let's keep it moving, man. Yeah, man. It's a lot of scenarios that could really, really push us in a level of championship competitive. But I hope we, at the same time, we don't want to forget to develop these players, keep these young talent coming through the pipeline. And try to make sure we don't lose sight of these young guys that we got there now, like Obi, Mitch, and all them. I get it. So we had to put them in trades that's understandable to get a superstar. But, at the same time, we want to keep these guys coming through the pipeline, man. We got a lot of picks coming up, guys. Seven first rounders in the next 4 years. 20, second rounders coming down the pipeline. So we're in a good situation. I know we're not going to be able to keep all these guys. But you know what? But we do want to get better as a team because I do want to see us get in that second, third round. Maybe go to the Eastern Conference Finals with a little bit more firepower. So you guys, let me know what y'all think we need, man. Let us know what we need to get us there for sure.
Yeah, the one thing that concerns me of Kawhi Leonard, not just his injury.
Yeah.
Chris, mute your mic if you're doing something outside of the stream. But one thing that worries about Kawhi Leonard, in my opinion, is this is his second team that he's not happy with the medical staff, and that kind of worries me. If things, his injury and the way he's being treated or treatment, why is it? It's San Antonio. I think they got top notch, and then also with the Lakers, with the the Clippers. They're another top organization. That billionaire bomber, he'll implement good medical staff. So it kind of worries me with that. With that he keeps saying the medical staff has failed him or put him down, or and that kind of little bit of a worry. But that's behind the scenes. We never heard it from him. So once again, I don't like speculating about behind the scenes stuff, but that's one of the reasons why he wants to leave, because of the medical staff. I don't, that just worries me if that's going to be something there. I saw something from Camilo. Where you guys go to summer. I love the camera. You know me, Camilo. Don't get me started with the reddish rumors, man.
Yeah, that's BX boy right there. Yeah, for real. Yeah. He wanted the Duke party back. He wanted Zion, RJ, and Cam Reddish here, man. And he been holding that down for a minute, so we'll see how that go. But yeah, that's an interesting rumor as well. I mean, Cam Reddish, you'd be surprised. But I wonder if they don't sign John Collins, with that might keep him there. You know what I mean?
The draft is going to dictate that. If they get that power forward or that small forward that could they could draft a member, because they also got their draft pick that got injured. It was Acuna. Yeah, he was injured too. So
6 months.
Yeah, and if Collins is asking for that big contract, which I don't think no one's going to give him that big money, because remember, everybody wants to retool for next year, man. Unless they think Collins is going to transcend their team, maybe get to a team like Oklahoma, if they know they're not going to draw no bond, and he's willing to take that money to go over there. I can see that happening. Or I'm using that as an example, Oklahoma City or a team like that has cap space that and a lot of free agents isn't a darling to go to, and Collins sees that money. I could see that, but I don't know, man. Another name that I don't see going anywhere for or getting a lot of money is going to be Dennis Schroeder Jr. Dennis Schroeder. I don't see Dennis Schroeder anyone giving him the $100 million he's asking for, guys. I'm sorry. No matter how much desperate the New York Knicks are at point guard, I'd rather take. No way. I'd rather go with a draft. And he's good. Don't get me wrong. Schroeder is a good point guard. I think he could stick with Trae Young, move around, but not at that price range.
Yeah. That chat right there, Nick P. Sexton and Oubre would be good addition. That's what I'm banking on. If we don't go big game hunting, Sexton and Oubre will fit this team real well. I like their mentality. I like the fight in them. I like their game. I just think that makes a lot of sense. If we don't go get the Kawhi Leonards and the Damian Lillards, we had to say we're going to stay middle tier. I think the Sexton thing to me, guys, is just that to get him for a couple of picks and maybe a Knox or somebody, that's a real sweet deal, because you're not giving up so much to get a 24-point game score. I mean, that's pretty amazing. You know what I mean? For it, I love Kelly Oubre. I think if you give Reggie Bullock anywhere near 15 million, then I'd rather give Oubre 19. I'm just sorry. I think he got more game on that way. He can get up and down the floor. He can get he could off the dribble. He can put the ball in his own hand, put it on the floor, get to the bucket. Reggie Bullock's more doesn't. You got to pass on the ball. He got to shoot the tray. He's a 3-and-D true shooter, but he's not one of them guys who could put the ball on the floor and go down in the paint and get buckets. And I just think that if you're going to get somebody that much money, they got to have a multi-dimension game to me. So if you ask me between Reggie Bullock and Oubre, between the difference of 3 or 4 million, I might have to lean towards Oubre for sure. Yep. But yeah, it's Charlotte will give Collins the bag.
I think so. I you know what, Nick P, that's something that with Charlotte management and ownership would kind of do. They did it with other players in the past. I wouldn't be surprised. They did it, I think, with that was Atlanta who did it that they ended up trading him to Los Angeles. I could see that. I think Charlotte will give him the money. And Dennis Schroeder, he's good, but I think his better days are behind him. I think when he was in Atlanta, he was really great. And I mean, Boston, hey, let's hope Boston signs him. Yeah, I would like to see. He won't be too much of a factor in the Knicks down the road. It says there, Divine, if we get Kawhi, he might not play next year when he starts more management starts. I don't know, but hey, one thing about New York, remember they have the hospitals for special surgery and needs. We could always go there and get fixed up.
Yeah, for sure. Real talk. When we got the hospitals right, you can make that happen. Big Chino says Sexton has flaws, but people need to acknowledge the Cavs
Black town.
lack talent. Yeah, had a ton of coaches and a toxic culture. I'm telling you, man, Sexton is the real deal, bro. I see what like I was telling you. I always say when I see that dude go up against the Brooklyn Nets last year, and he was giving Kyrie and them cat. They had to get that boy respect. I'm like, okay, this cat is giving them the business. I keep saying that because I just think that he got that dog and he's a bulldog. He got a New York type of mentality. I think he'll love the bright lights. He won't be scared of the bright lights. See, that's what's intriguing because a lot of good players can they play in New York City? Can they handle Madison Square Garden and the bright lights? And we have to keep that in consideration because you never know.
Let me ask the chat. Let me ask the chat. To Canal. No thanks to is it to Ubre or no thanks? Because you got like a two-parter. I think it's Ubre you're saying no to, right? It says Ubre wears makeup. Oh man, the chat is hilarious. I love the chat.
Yes, sir.
They make this program.
Chat is where it's at.
Where it's at, you know that. Or Ubre might take a discount. Man, I hope so, Pudge. I hope he takes a discount, man. Definitely. He could fit. He fits the Knicks, but if they don't go that route, they don't want to spend their money on there. There's players granted, they're not going to be Ubre's level, but there's players that could fit that bill and that need there. I'm sure that hospitals you could put together and make it work.
Yeah, that's a good one. Right. Yeah, yo. Pud said 10 million. That's it. For who? Ubre?
For Ubre, I don't know if they'll take it.
Yeah,
I don't know if they take it, Pudge. I would say, hey, let's do it. What? I could even word process I could write up the contract myself on my laptop for you, starting right now. Just give me all the verbiage and all the terminology. I'll do it for free.
Yeah, I think he was 18 million right now. Either 18 or what did he sign with? What did he sign with the Golden State?
I think he has 15 or right now with Golden State. If I'm not, I might be wrong, guys. But I think he's looking anywhere from 17 to 20 million. Similar to Duncan Robinson as well.
See, and that's the thing. People might say Duncan Robinson, but Duncan Robinson is just a shooter. You know what I mean? If you give Duncan Robinson 20 million, you don't give Kelly Oubre 16, 17, 18, there's something wrong because Kelly Oubre, he's play hell of a defense. He's linky. He got an it factor. He ain't scared of it. He got an it factor to him. So I just think if you give Duncan Robinson $20 million, you got to give Kelly Oubre at least 17, 18. That's for sure because Duncan Robinson is almost like one-dimensional. Kelly Oubre can mix it up, and he's a good defender, and he's linky too. He got a wingspan that's pretty phenomenal, and from what I heard him talking with Ian Begley, I like the way he's thinking. You know what I mean? I like the way he's thinking right now about wanting to be able to to do this and do that. So it's interesting, guys, to see how that's going to pan out for sure. But I think
say this: do you think Duncan Robinson is the new like a younger version of Steve Novak? I mean, Novak was good. Don't get me wrong, but he was just he just was the one-dimensional. He was really just a great open three-point shooter. But you saw when he had to put his create a shot or put his ball on ball, he couldn't do it in the playoffs. So could Duncan Robinson be the new Steve Novak type of player?
Yeah. But for 20 million, I wouldn't do it.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's a little bit. Yeah, because that's why I'm saying he's like another Steve Novak. If you're gonna pay that much of a contract for a Steve Novak type of player. That's kind of costly, At least Tim Hardaway Jr. made an effort on defense, and he could, fly and try to get some dunks and become a little athletic, So it's like, Duncan Robinson, Steve Novak, to get that kind of bag, I could see where you could the Knicks might make that mistake with Robinson because he could shoot, he could, draw and create his own shot, and also. Athletic. He could play the fast break if you wanted to with him. But I don't know. Duncan Robinson in the fast break. I don't think he's that good of a fast break. and put the ball on the floor and create his own shot for that kind of money. So yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Hey,
I
bro,
like a lot wise one. Yeah, you hear Chris? We got you.
what you doing, kid?
I'd rather have sex and Ubre and keep at least one in the first round and the 32nd. That's what I'm talking about. That I think that makes a lot of sense.
Nikki P.
Why
Hazmat suit detailing.
why you putting a Band-Aid on?
Buddy Hill is available.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that with the Lakers.
I'm
Oubre
fixing to play basketball in a sec.
Hey, Chris, what you got on your mind, Chris? Before you go out and play basketball,
Huh?
what you got on your mind before you go out and play basketball? Let us know, because I know you're about to drop triple double out there. So talk to me. What you like? What you like going on for this off season? When you're looking forward to or the draft night? Anything intrigues you? Talk to us.
I like to see the Knicks get Kawhi Leonard and Damian Lillard and maybe draft Miles McBride out of West Virginia.
Miles McBride, you threw a nice name out there to you. He's under the radar. Just because he played in West Virginia, he's a good point guard. He's quiet. He's gonna be a serviceable point guard. Maybe a starter, but not, it might be reaching, but he's gonna be in the league for years to come. I think he's gonna be one of those type of point guards. Real serviceable, real good, and that's a good name that you threw out there. Chris, that's a really good. I'm glad. That's a good one. Especially if he's available at a 32 and you want to take a flyer at a point guard, just in case. He might be there. He might be there. He might be scooped out on the 27th, or because Phoenix. Because remember, they might lose Chris Paul. They need to bring in a point guard in. And might take a flyer at that. Never know. But he has a lot of upsides. Miles McBride. Pretty good name out there, Chris. Kudos to you.
Yep. Yeah, I like Sexton and Oubre fits the timeline and helps keep our culture in check. And Nick P was like a lineup of Sexton, Hill, RJ, Randall, and Mitchell. I agree with both of them chats for sure. So we got the Knicks got a lot of options, man. We got to make sure we stay in the fold.
Terry want to out.
Stay in the fold. Stay in the fold, and we keep it moving and see what we're gonna come up with. But the draft is gonna be interesting. And like Chef Nick said, Oubre wants to be a Knick. He want to be here, and that's what you want, guys who want to be here. But I think he got the mentality. I like him when he started coming up in Washington. BX. I think when he was with John Wall, they had Otto Porter and Bill, and they were young. Them cats used to be getting down. I'm surprised they didn't go nowhere with that. But obviously, injuries took part of it and all that stuff. But Oubre, he went out to Phoenix, had a good season. A great season, 18 points a game out there. Then we know he got down there to Golden State just with a little bit of last year with the wrist injury and all that. But he got that it factor. He got the dog in him, and I just think that he's not a player who will come here and won't be scared. He won't be scared of the bright lights. He liked. I think they like that. Him and Sexton like that type of atmosphere, and I think they'll do well if the price is right. Like Paul said, I think they'll do that. And you don't have to give him a whole 4-year extension. You can give him 2 in the team option. And see what they want to do. He, like I said, he can make it, like Paul said, they can make a lot of deals off endorsements, commercials. I just asked him, seen him in one commercial, not recently. Kelly Oubre, I forgot what the one he talked about, what they call this stuff, the something, the tsunami or whatever. It's some crazy mess. But it'll be interesting to see. Right, absolutely, 19. My man said it. They will fit the New York City gritty committee. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all already know. Yeah, man, that's for sure. Lakers. Yep. Yes, sir.
Can I tell you who I got to meet all year this year?
Who that?
On for the Love of the Game podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I met JJ Moore.
Okay.
Of the Winchester Knicks.
I saw that. That was a good stream. Good, cool.
And I met Taz Gibson's brother today, Divine.
Yeah. BX was on there. BX Sports Jedi was on there, man. He told me that he came on the show, and that was awesome.
Hey, Divine.
Yep. Yes.
Do you mind if we text each other?
If we do what?
If we text each other?
Who is that? I'm not sure who we talk about.
Do you mind if I text you, Divine?
Oh yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
I'm gonna put my number in the private chat,
Okay.
and then you can type yours, and I will write it down on a piece of paper.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. Let me do that. Let me get back to the show. Yeah. Go ahead, do that, Chris, and I'll make sure I put mine in there.
You and Jedi are like
Hawaii Wiggins and
brothers
Oubre
to
as
me.
wings. Mello on a vet deal, Pud. Absolutely, Pud. I'm glad somebody's feeling that Mello thing because you bring Mello back to teach these young boys how to get down. Kawhi Leonard, Wiggins, and Oubre as wings with Mello on a vet minimum. Sign me up, Pudge. You already know. I think Mello come in here and help us out a great deal with that experience and that knowledge that he got and what he could do for these young boys, man. Can you imagine Carmelo Anthony if we still got Obi Toppin? Carmelo Anthony teaching that boy how to use them foot. Oh my God, bro! Teach him, make him get that post game, that pump fade. Okay, you get Melo in here to teach that boy that we be that's something right there. That's for sure. So that's interesting, Paul. That's a really good, really good chat right there, man. Y'all keep throwing them in here, man. Knicks Real Talk, the Night Show, Divine, Bronx Sports Jedi, BX Sports Jedi, aka we got the chat up in here, man. All y'all in here, if I could run all y'all down, I would. But just we in here tonight. But salute to everybody in here, man. Every name in the chat, y'all, I got y'all in here in these thoughts, man. Y'all keep it coming, keep it moving. Everybody out there on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're chiming in from, man, hit that like and subscribe for the show, man, and keep supporting, and it is what it is because we know y'all make the show. We don't make the show. Y'all make the show. We got to keep it moving, man. But it's a lot of good.
I just put my number in the private chat, Divine.
Okay, I'll send it before the show is over for sure, all right?
And hey, Divine.
Yes.
Can we see if we can get Juan on here of Man It's Knicks?
If anybody want to come on, the door is always open for anybody, Chris. That would have to be their call. They're more than welcome. They always open.
I just feel bad for him right now.
I understand. Yeah, man. If you out there listening, Knicks Real Talk, my man, you're welcome to come on the show anytime. The door's open for everybody, man. Let's get it popping. Yeah, man. Chris, we could do that. Real quick. Allah Wise said, Divine, picture this. Mello gets gets beat back door. This yelling Mello all game. Oh, why? I can't throw no at him, man. I don't know why. I can't, bro. You know what I mean? But I hopefully that last couple of years, man, he's been playing some pretty deep, different basketball in Portland. You know what I mean? I think now if we just use him for just a score and give us some buckets, you know what I mean, off the bench. I won't have it. I think he, getting Carmelo Anthony here on a vet minimum, just alone experience. You know what I mean? I don't think you can underestimate what this guy done seen and play more basketball than a lot of these cats on the Knicks team right now. And the cat can get down. He's still doing it. You know what I mean? And he don't got to play major minutes. He ain't gonna come here trying to be the main guy. He obviously know that, and I think he already familiar with that. Being behind Damian Lillard and C.J. McCullough, he's coming off the bench at Portland, and he's happy with the role. I think he done got older and wiser. He knows his career is coming to an end. He's willing to set probably anything that you ask him to do. But I don't know, man. I think sometimes, man, you get a guy like that who can him, Todd Gibson, and Derrick Rose. These guys, they that's why the Knicks were so successful this year because of bringing in guys like that. You think when they brought in Derrick Rose and Todd Gibson, that experience, man. I think it helped them out so well. So we'll see how that go. But that was a good one, Alawan. I can't even front on that one though.
Man, I can tell you someone who could use Marmelo right now. Team USA, Olympic Melo. They could use him right now. Woo.
Right. Right.
Divine and Jedi.
Yes, sir.
I'm about to get out of here, but you guys are like brothers to me.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to tell you two players I look up to in the NBA.
Yeah.
I look up to Giannis Antetokounmpo and Kevin Durant and James Harden and Russell Westbrook.
Okay. Yeah. Them
MVP.
Yeah. Them some good guys to look up to, man. They some talent ball players and they got game, man. So
I hope to make the NBA and play for Phoenix or the New York Knicks one day. I think Chris Paul is gonna re-sign with the Phoenix Suns because I think he wants to win a championship.
Yeah. That's true. Well, Chris, man, you have a good one. Thanks for chiming in, man.
Have a good pickup game, man.
And
Hey,
we're
Divine and Jedi, can you guys text me your numbers in the private chat real quick
yeah.
before
Let me
I
get that
head
We'll
to
do
you.
out?
we'll do it in a minute. Absolutely.
Yep. Well, yeah, man.
It's Nick's real talk.
Yeah, exactly, man. We in here, man. We cutest guy. We just trying to get Chris situated, and then we get back. But listen, man, we got a lot of things, man. You know, and we got a lot of things going on. And I think we got a lot of things we could do down here. Baba Booey in the building. Baba Booey salute. The king of the corn. The corn beef is in the building. You already know. And I know Mello's the man. I know you was having fun with it, brother, for sure. Yo, that's the A alike right there. So we understand that. Pud laugh out loud. That's a good one. Divine Mellow, bro. Black just is my man. Yeah, yes, indeed. But yeah,
I
man.
love me Mellow Yellow, the drink.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, man. But listen, let me ask y'all a question. Do you think the Knicks gonna make some moves on the trading deadline? I'm not trading deadline. The draft night. It's gonna be some shuffling on that night, man. We gonna be on the Alabama. Me and B is gonna connect. We're gonna get these streams popping off on that night. Do y'all tell you, man? Do y'all think it's gonna be some shuffling on the draft night with the Knicks?
I think the Knicks are gonna make some moves on draft night.
Okay,
Okay. I
I
can see
really
that.
do. They're gonna be active.
I can see that. I can see that for sure, Chris. Will, you already know P. Ramos, my man. P. Ramos, what up, brother?
P,
What
what's going
you do,
on?
P? What's going on with you? Yo, salute to the chat, man. We got the thoroughest chat in the business, man. These cats is real up in here. This real talk, man. Y'all guys is all fire all the time, man. I appreciate y'all. Me and BX, we already know. When y'all keep it 100 up in here, man. Your wise, your intelligent, your thoughts is real. So y'all keep it coming, man. You guys make this show live, man. We appreciate that. Yeah, man. I think he said we need that 14th pick. Excuse me, Pud said. Yeah, hey Pud, we do need to get up there, man. I think we need to go up in that draft a little bit, and make it happen. You know what I mean? And Will the Thrill, Will in the building, you already know. We need that. I think we need to get that. You know what I mean? I think we get that. We get up in that top. I love to get in the top 10, but obviously that's going to take some real wheeling and dealing by Brock Aller. But you never know, man. I mean, we got picks, man. We got the 4 picks this year. We got picks next year. We got 7 first round in 4 years. You never know. If it's somebody really, really intriguing, you never know. You never know. 19 in the building. 19 said we need to trade the 19 to 58 and 2023 second rounder to Houston for the 23rd and the 24th. That's a good one, Con, man. I understand what you meant too, man. That. Whew, that makes a lot of sense there. But if I can get up into that top 10 and get me some Davian Mitchell, yeah, I know I'm big on him, and I like Moses Moody too. I'm good with that though, for real. What do you think, BX?
I like what P Ramos Pete. I think they are. I think they're going to draft 3 out. I think they're going to draft these rookies. Because I've been saying it. They want to collect access for next year's free agency, man. I think that's where they and kudos to Alton Lee says the Knicks championship window starts in 2023. He writes that all the time in our chat here, and I think that and I think there's some truth to that. I think the Knicks. Yeah, don't get me wrong. They're going to probably sign the power forward or small forward, a 3-and-D, or maybe Bullock back. But I think they're gonna because there's so much talent in this draft that I thought wherever they pick and I think I can see. I know they say Thibodeau doesn't play rookies, but it's a system. I think where the summer league, now and training camp, they could get right back to they got summer league and then they take about 3 weeks off and then summer and then the training camp starts right on top of it, so they can have a lot of hands-on work with these young kids to get in there and get them a good program, get them up and running and be successful. And I see that could do that, and also they could have these young players and draft them. Here's the reason why: because not only next year's free agency class, February's trading deadline. If they could trade some of these kids for these disgruntled Zach Levine, aka or any other of these type of players, now you have a bunch of asses, young, promising kids, and you put a pick with him, you could poach and get some of these players that want to leave this situation, that don't want to sign or contract extensions with their current teams, and you get their bird rights. They come to New York, you get their bird rights, and you be able to give away some of these kids that we picked because a lot of these kids in this draft is really talented. They fit what the modern NBA is asking for, which is shooting guard, wings, and length and versatile two-way kind of players. And that's what this draft is full of. And if you
Yep.
pick it there, that's another game plan. So keep an eye on the New York Knicks with that.
Yeah,
Hey,
absolutely.
Jedi and Divine.
Yes.
I will be back on Thursday. Uh,
Okay.
and I will be watching the. I'm gonna be watching the NBA draft for my Thunder and New York Knicks.
Yep. We'll be on, man. You coming? We'll be here Thursday, man. We'll be jumping on. We're gonna have a live thing going on. We're gonna go down every draft pick, and we're gonna be live here. So come on in, Chris, and make it happen, man. We looking forward to you. Come on.
And I will tell you who the Knicks select. I want to tell you who they select at 19 or 21 or wherever.
I'll give you the floor, brother. The floor will be yours for sure.
All right, love you guys.
All
I'm
right,
out.
take
Later,
care.
bro.
All right, bro. Hey, Will Slug, real quick. Will, I didn't hear about that, but that's interesting. Do you the New Orleans Bledsoe in the 10th for our 19 to 21? What do you guys think about that? I know the Bledsoe in the 10th was out there, but would you do Bledsoe and what's that, the 10th for the 2019 to 21? Y'all guys hit me up and let me know about that, man. That's an interesting one. Good one, Will, because that's an interesting one to talk about right there because, Bledsoe, I think Bledsoe's contract might be almost over. If it ain't already over this year, next year, he is on a 19 million, I think might be expiring. If you get a chance to look it up, BS, let me know.
Yeah, doing that right now.
Yep. Yeah, for the 10th pick.
Man, my thoughts on that. I'll get that in a minute. I'm looking for it
Okay.
while I'm trying to talk on that.
Man, 19 contract. I see Sexton and Levine at the Knicks by next season. Yeah, Woodbridge. I'm on the same thing. That's interesting, man. And Bledsoe, a dog. He can scrap, but he can scrap. He's a gritty player. Instead, and Nick P said instead of the 21, can they have the 32nd?
They got two. That's what I was going to say. But Bledsoe still got more years, man. You got him until 2023. He's
Oh no, that's all right.
And his number is 18 million. But it's more. That contract is movable, but I don't know if his talent will be. And to that one for the 10th pick, as long as I can keep a 19 or the 21, either or, yeah, that as long as I keep one of them because I like this. Like I said, I keep repeating, there's so much good talent, wing talent, and point guard that you could get at that value of that draft. That man, that's you want to keep one of those two,
Yeah. Like I said, I think that the Isaiah Jackson thing is interesting. You know what I mean? And that's an interesting thing with even if you sign Mitchell Robinson, can you imagine having that young man playing behind Mitchell Robinson or in that thing with maybe a Todd Gibson down, coming back off a bet minimum, but you got Todd, Isaiah Jackson, and Mitchell Robinson up front. I think that's not a bad thing to have. So the Grizzlies, you're right? The Grizzlies I can see the Grizzlies doing that deal though. Because I can see the Grizzlies doing it for sure. Absolutely, man. I think that make a lot of sense for them. We got so many options. It's crazy that the Knicks are in a situation where they got so many options. It's like they can go so many routes that is a good thing to have. It's like we could pick from the barrel a lot from the barrel, man. I don't care how many flavors you got in that barrel, but there's a lot of flavor we could pick from. So we got to see how that get down. Will say, yeah, it would be better to move to 32nd instead of the 21. And get Bledsoe 18 and 19 million each next 2 years. The thing I'm concerned about that only, does Bledsoe make a difference for the Knicks he can make us better? I don't even know. I'm not sure about that, BX. How much better will he help the Knicks? I know he can get it. Now, don't get me wrong. His jump shot, his 3-point shot is not there. We know that. But he's a bulldog, though.
Let me ask, do you think that maybe New York, the bright lights, might take his game to another level? I don't want Bledsoe at that price range. But if you're telling me I'm gonna move up with the Pelicans, or if you're giving me move up with the 10th pick, I give you the 19th and the 31st. You give me Bledsoe and a Josh Hart, maybe.
Okay.
Because you're getting in two good players in there. in there, coming back maybe. But can Bledsoe elevate his game in New York under Tom Thibodeau? He will be an upgrade from Payton. I agree with you, Kevin. And you could move him, because he'll be in one more year. You could move him in February. If he's going to be part of a deal to for salary cap wise, a move, he could be moved. He's been moved before in the past. He has value because he is still a point guard in the NBA. He's still a serviceable point guard that could get in, that could run an offense. He's totally not clueless with that. Yeah, he has his deficiencies, yes. But we know, but maybe some guys are some guys are just might be made for MSG. That bright lights and just something could get unlocked. Who knows? I'm not saying I don't know. It might be, some people say that's blasphemy what I'm saying, but you never know. You never no, you don't know. That's the thing
You
about
know
it.
what's interesting with that too? Nick P. I just want to put it out there. My man Nick P. I was saying if that the case, I'll go at Wiggins. Wiggins might make 10 more million more than him, but Wiggins in that 7th and 14th,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
yeah, I think you do that with that 19th and 21. Go to Golden State. You take our picks, we take y'all picks, and we get Andrew Wiggins in that deal, and we throw what we got to throw in there.
And to respond to Kevin Woodbridge, he's 31 years old currently right now. I think he'll go into the season 31 and will turn 32 in the middle of the season. And again, we'll see what that goes. He was a former Kentucky player. I don't know what they see, what Kentucky coaches see, if they had something in them. It might be before their regime there with Kenny, with Kenny Payne and Calipari. I think he might have not been there. He might be before that, but I don't know. Anything could happen.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, man. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Y'all great show, man. Y'all keep running them thoughts in here, man. You guys already know what it is, man. Salute to the chat. Salute to everybody looking at the stream out there, man. Outside us, man. We out here doing it, man. Knicks Real Talk, Divine, BX Sports Jedi. Great show, man. You guys keep the thoughts coming, man. But I do like that. Would love to snag Wiggins. I agree with you, Will. I think that'd be just one of them awesome moves right there, man. I think to get that 7th. Now think about you get that 7th or that 14th. Oh my God, bro! With him, man, it's over. You know what I mean? Now we get somebody in that we can. Now you got a chance to go get Davion Mitchell. You know what I mean? Hypothetically, you know what I mean? Or you can get the Moody's of the world. Any of them guys in that top 10. You could get them to come in there and play. And I think that's a really good opportunity for the Knicks if they could pull that off. I just think that it makes sense, to take on Wiggins, because Wiggins only got a couple of years left. It ain't like you got him on 5 years. You know what I mean? You got him on. The cat gave you 20-something a game this year. His defense was solid. His 3-point ball was decent this year. He had a good year playing around. And think about where he coming from, guys. He coming from Golden State around a real culture. He coming from a team that got culture. So you know what I mean? The top to bottom. You know what I mean? He been around some guys. You know what I mean? That know what the game of basketball is about. Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, all these guys, man. Steve Kerr. He's been around a real good. So, he coming in here already molded, and he played for Tom Thibodeau already. So I think that would be a nice one if you could pull that off. I don't have no problem with that. GS for Wiggins is going to want 19, 21, Obi, Knox, and Luka. Yeah, Con. Oh my God, bro. You hit me with that one. Would you do it? Let me ask you guys to respond to 19 Cons chat. Would y'all do that chat that 19 Cons just put out there? Golden State Wiggins is going to want 19, 21, Obi, Knox, and Luka. Y'all guys let me know what y'all think about that, man. Throw that out there. Give me your thoughts on that.
What's the 1 year 29 million is for?
Pudge Nice, hit me back with that 1 year 29. What you responded to?
Having Wiggins is definitely an upgrade for some people. I think he's Wiggins is good. It all depends if depending if RJ comes back to the Knicks organization, say I could play with this guy alongside him. You put him in here with Randall. I think we could have something moving. I'm pretty sure he might have an input on that. Pete Ramos said it might be too many assets. I think so too. It might be too many assets.
Okay.
If that's the case, we'll just get Damian Lillard. If that's what's going to, if you're, because pretty much that's what almost that Lillard was going to cost us. Just maybe Manu quickly or RJ Barrett. So that's so interesting. If you're going to swing and you're going to drop the players like that, might as well go get Damian Lillard. And if you're going to trade up a bunch of players, in my opinion, with that, but that's a good one. You gotta 19. You got to give something to get something. So that's a creative thought there. I understand what you're thinking on that. Absolutely.
Here's what I would say about that real quick, guys. That was a good one, 90 Con. Because think about this here. If you could get that trade done, but I would definitely try to keep Valdoza for sure.
Yeah, because you need a point guard.
You need a point guard. And I think that man is more talented than a lot of people really underestimate how good this man going to be. I think his game, we need a player like that. And, because you think about it, with that 17th or 14th, if you get in that 17th or 14th, are you getting somebody who could do what Obi do? Are you getting that 14th in that 14 player? Or are you getting somebody who could do what Knox do? If that's the case, then it might not be a bad trade because if you get let's say if you get a 7th and a 14th, they come and have a more of an impact than Obi and Knox did in the organization, then it's not a loss to me. You know what I mean? For sure. But
let me ask you that, Divine. When you mean that impact on what end? On the defensive end or on the offensive end?
I think just on a team overall. The impact on the team overall. Yeah. How much will they contribute to the team overall? Because I definitely don't want to give up Obi Toppin. But I understand it's a business. I want Obi Toppin. I think Obi Toppin got a chance to do some good things in the NBA. Where he's gifted. The kid got athleticism. He's gifted. I just wonder to get a certain player, will they do that? You know what I mean? Yo, salute to my man, Sean Cubes. He in the building already, and Valdoza, like I said, P. Ramos. I think that boy's gonna be nice. Obi is probably the most valuable and expendable player. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah,
that's a tough one, man. The tough one. Yeah, man, but y'all keep it coming, man. Next Real Talk, man. We're here, man. Y'all hit that like button, man. Y'all like it up, man. Subscribe to the channel, man, and keep showing some love. We keep giving y'all the love back because y'all already know how we do, man. It's a family affair here. KRT family is real. BX Sports Jedi family is real. Let's keep doing this thing. Yeah, I could do the Wiggins thing, though. I don't have a problem with it. I don't.
Because if we're getting Wiggins, it's because we're giving Golden State cap flexibility and relief, especially that luxury tax. I think it's like $35 to $40 million in luxury tax. That's high. I'm pretty sure the owners with that, no matter how much they sell out and how much popular they are, they kind of want to save money on that end. They don't want to be giving out luxury tax money. They want to win, but NBA teams are businesses, folks. These are billionaires trying to run a $1 million organization, so they're there to make money. So I don't think they want to lose any more money that it is. They might sacrifice a year or two, but to win that championship, that glory. But a lot of these owners, I hate to say it, they treat it as a business, and not all of them are in there to win the titles. They're in there to make a profit, and set up their family for generations to come. And championships are gravy on top of that. But you can see it; these billionaires they just want to keep growing their money. So it's a business. So we'll see that if they want to. Sometimes they might do. That's why a lot of times there's head scratching moves. Why do they move them for this and that? Because they want to save money, and it's about the billionaires want to continue being billionaires. They're not billionaires for a reason. They make those tough calls that it's unpopular.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder with the Golden State situation. I like I said earlier, I wouldn't be surprised if they could do that right now. They would do it to get that cap relief. Because I think I said you add up Alex Burks, even though these guys can you trade these guys because they coming up free agents? You can't trade them. Is it that situation where they can't get traded because they are free agents, or can they be traded and then they and even that team let them go, whatever the case may be, the cap relief. My man Dan, Dan the man, Dan Acklet, my brother, salute. Appreciate you coming in here, man. Yeah, man. So it's we got to keep this thing going, man. Y'all got me on buzz right now with all this trade talking. It's like here, like I said, you wind up with Wiggins and Colin Sexton. You know what I mean? Oh my God, it's like, okay, you got a nice core there with Colin Sexton, RJ, Wiggins, Randall, and Mitchell Robinson. That's a nice starting five, man.
Nice young and young experience. Young experience, not young with the only lack of experience they have is team chemistry and camaraderie, but they've been in the league. They know the ins and outs there. Do you want to throw that chat? Maybe Dan would like to come on with us, maybe?
Yeah, I sure will. Yeah, man, that's crazy right there. You get him, Wiggins, RJ, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson. That would be nice. You got that. Oh my God, bro.
That's
a young nucleus you could roll with for 3 or 4 years. Man, them cats that would be some damage there. You got a point guard who's a dog, can get it. You got a shooting guard who's a dog, and RJ can get it. Andrew Wiggins giving you what he can get it. Randall can get it, and Mitchell Robinson got the man. Listen, then you fill that bitch up with all the rest of them cats.
Yeah, it is. You bring back Derrick Rose. If you don't give up Emmanuel quickly, you have Emmanuel quickly. If you don't give up Bobby Toppin, you could actually take flyers on guys that for 1 year contract that are that need to get prove it deals. You could vet minimum guys that want to play with this young team. I'm I don't know who, but there's always that vet minimum that you don't ever expect of. Let's say I'm not gonna say he's gonna come here, but let's say a guy like a Blake Griffin. That type of kind of player. We saw LaMarcus Aldridge just wanted when he got released, came and signed for Brooklyn. But you could get those type of players that could contribute something to have some thing left in the tank and come in and play. So those are the type of deals that if you see that young nucleus and that young team being put out there, ooh man.
Yeah, real quick, Dan said, what's the trade I did there? We were talking about the Wiggins in the 17th or 14th to the Knicks for the 19th to 21st and whatever it may take to get Wiggins. I just think that you look at it this way, BX. You get Colin Sexton starting, Derrick Rose, Valdoza. You got RJ Emmanuel quickly at the 2s. You got Wiggins. You bring back Bullock at the 3 and a backup. You know what I mean? I'll bring Bullock back on the backup because his 3 and D. He was guarding some of the premier wings in the league this year. You know what I mean? And he's part of that 41 and 31. You know what I mean? But then you got Randall and Obi, Mitch, and whoever, Todd, and maybe Isaiah Jackson from the draft or whatever. And like you said, throw some vet minimums. That'd be a nice team, man. I did that. I roll with that.
The only problem with the Reggie Bullock thing with Boston and Los Angeles, they might just to sign him, offer him, you're going to come here to be a starter, and that might be what might separate and move the needle on losing a Reggie Bullock. Maybe he wants to start. He doesn't want to be a bench player or come off the bench because he might think, wait, on the Tom Thibodeau, you could have the minutes and with him he'll get it for you. But he, some players just want that luxury or that luxury of being named the starter. So and even if the Knicks bring him that's why if they're bringing Bullock back, Divine, I think they're holding their picks and they're going to so they could bring the young rookie off the bench, and have Bullock start and once the rookie goes out of his way and become, overshadows Bullock, then they'll make the change, and then Bullock will be either bench player or they'll try to move him for later, years down the road, 2 years. Let's say they sign him for a 2-year deal, then I don't see Bullock come back for a 1-year deal either because I think I think the teams are out there that had a heavy on him. We'll give him a multi-year deal, and just so they could pry him and pluck him away from the New York Knicks.
Yeah. I don't think he's gonna do a 1 year neither. But what's interesting that the organization like him, and they really do. Scott Perry, when that man was injured and had that back problem, they still signed him. And I think sometimes loyalty and goes a long way. He from the Maryland area. He liked the East Coast, but he'll go anywhere. Money talk. They're gonna follow the money. But it'd be interesting, BX. If they did bring him back, you got Wiggins and did bring him back, or you got Oubre and brought him back. I just think that we need somebody at that 2 spot, at that 3 spot that's a consistent 20-point score, 19, 20, not every other game or every 3 or 5 games. Every night this cat can drop 20. I just think that's where we at, man. We need a player who can go next to Randall that on any night, day in and day out, he going to be able to put up 20 points. Consistently. It's about the consistency. Much as I love Reggie Bullock, he just wasn't consistent. And what he did. One night he'd shoot 6 threes, the other night he might shoot 1. But his defense, I would never take away his defense because he was playing, like I said, Reggie Bullock guarded some of the best wings in the league this year. He was one of the reasons why the Knicks had one of the best defense teams in the league this year, in the top 3, because he did bring that to the table. But yeah, you're right though, 100% right, BX. I think another team might give him that money, dude. He might kick rocks. But I don't. It's interesting. And Con-Man said we hold the rights of bird rights, and he said RJ. Hit me with that, Con-Man.
Let me say this: if we lose Bullock, right, and worst case scenario, we lose Bullock, we draft some players, and we want to pick up, and we have a scenario to getting not a Bullock type, but a Bullock type of deal, like maybe a year to prove it, and it's Otto Portis Jr. that Orlando is not thinking of bringing him back. Anything move the needle with him for a year deal as a stopgap player, and You have the rookie that you say you draft a rookie. If the draft goes the way it is, you get a cherished man, the third, and the Knicks don't feel like they want to play him in the front court yet. And you got a 1 year deal with that. Dan, what's going on, my main man?
Salute,
Always a
salute.
Hey, what's
pleasure to
up,
see
fellas?
you.
How y'all doing?
We
Oh
good, man. We
man, good,
good.
good.
Good to see you.
It's been a
Yeah,
while. It's been a
yeah,
while.
yeah. We
Yeah.
got Dan A in the building, y'all. You already know. Salute to the chat. Dan A on the panel. One of our brothers up in here, man. We cutting it up. Nice show tonight. We just cutting it up, man. Everybody got good thoughts. P. Ramos, Duncan Robinson. I'm scared of that one dimensional for $20 million, man. I need somebody who can put the ball on the floor, get to the bucket, play D. For that much money, you gotta have a multi-dimensional game. For me personally, all around. You just can't be a shooter. You can get shooters anywhere. I need somebody who can go in there and get with it. With Duncan Robinson, what I seen when he was with Miami, great shooter, but I wasn't sure about what everything else he was doing, and so that's what hesitates me with that about giving him that money compared to Oubre and Wiggins and all these guys who could do various things. That's my only take on Duncan Robinson, but the man can shoot the ball though, for sure. What do you think about that, Dan? That Pete Ramos on the Duncan Robinson.
I see Pudge Nice saying he wants to let Bullock walk. We still got to keep certain players that are veterans that know Thibodeau's system. So as far as Bullock, I'm not so opposed. Like if he walks, I'm fine with that. I really want to keep Alec Burks because he was the guy that was showing off in the fourth quarter to have the ability to create his own shot. So something like that. But yeah, I'm coming in hot with this one. I don't want Andrew Wiggins. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I don't want Andrew Wiggins at all. I do not want Andrew Wiggins. Me and BX, we've had a conversation about this on the side. So I'll let everyone know what my stance is on Andrew Wiggins. That man failed the country of Canada. Okay? I saw it on my TV on ESPN Plus. Pay for this, right? I was watching RJ Barrett. He was putting the entire country of Canada on his back. I saw Nickel Walker Alexander show up, whenever Nick Nurse let him play. He was showing off. He was putting the country of Canada on his back. And when they needed Andrew Wiggins the most, like he showed up for like 2 threes to put it in overtime. But like after that, he was non-existent the entire game. And that's been the story of his entire career. I watched all the exhibition games and to watch RJ, and the reality with Andrew Wiggins is I don't know how long he's been playing in the NBA now, like 7 years,
6, 7 years. Yeah, I
six,
think he's
7
about
years
20
roughly.
something.
He's
So
had
do
six,
that.
7 years of inconsistency.
Let me ask you a question though. Does that negate what he did for Golden State last year? Because he did put up 20 something a game. Like he was consistent from the three. He played D all year long. I mean, I don't want to. I don't. I'm asking, but I'm asking you, not disputing what you're saying, but remember, then when he was down with Tibbs them in Minnesota, at Minnesota, Tibbs, they gave the man a max contract. He went to Golden State for what's his name? The point guard, D'Angelo Russell. He's been having a way better career so far than D'Angelo Russell in Golden State and averaging 20 a game, shooting deep three, shooting a high percentage from three. Defense was phenomenal last year from compared to where he was. So do you base that Canada thing compared to what he did for Golden State all year long, which he put up some good numbers?
No, it's not like the Canada run is like, the reason why I brought it up is because it was most recent. That was the most recent basketball he played.
Okay.
So that's, that's the reason why I brought it up.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like his entire year in Golden State, true, he averaged 20, but he was really inconsistent that entire time. I watched a couple of Golden State games and he like, especially the Portland games, because they were playing them back to back and they really wanted to showcase those games.
Mm-hmm.
And he was inconsistent in those games. A lot of the time for Golden State, one of the I could say quasi big men / wings who helped them out really and showed off from time to time was Eric Pashaw. He was the guy that was really showing the ability to help out the team. So I don't put a lot of stock in it. Like as far as like the trade, I don't oppose it, but I'm not giving up, I'm not giving up I'm not giving up any of the young players for him.
Okay.
No, we're just talking about picks. Like
Like if we're
we'll
just giving the picks and then like relieving them of the cap, then
yes,
I'll
that's
do
exactly
that.
the trade
Like
proposal.
so then,
No players involved. Is we're gonna help you save the money because you guys are in cap hell, and we're gonna give you that fluctuation. But you gotta we're gonna swap picks, and we're gonna take your picks and we're gonna trade your pick, and we're taking that money off your books to save you money on the cap. I think that's something that needs to be explored because you can also flip Wiggins in February if need to be, if you want to get a Zach Levine. I keep throwing Zach Levine because I know he's gonna get traded in from Chicago in the middle of the season. They're not gonna have I think they're not gonna have a really good year, and they're gonna want to try to break it up or blow it up or do something. I think it's just gonna blow up in their face. Or some a team like that, in that kind of realm that they might blow things involved. So no players involved. I think you got to think about that.
Salute
yeah,
Linda Lynn. One real quick. And salute Linda Lynn. Everybody in the chat has Dan changed your thought because we had this conversation earlier. A lot of us was on board with this. Has Dan changed your thought about the Andrew Wiggins thing, opposed to what you were thinking about earlier for bringing Wiggins in? Has Dan changed your thoughts on any about that? Y'all hit me up. Let me know what's up. Go ahead, Dan. I'm sorry, bro.
yeah, but I understand that and using him as trade bait as far as getting Zach Levine if he doesn't re-sign, even though he's let it be known publicly that he wants to stay in Chicago.
Right.
That I don't know what else to say. Like as much as because everyone wants a model. I don't know. I don't know how else to say. Like the one thing that's been off-putting me this entire postseason, where I've been watching and I've been seeing what people have been saying about the especially Knicks fans about the postseason. It's like everyone's like saying we should follow the Phoenix Suns model, or we should have the Atlanta Hawks model, which is really just a copy of the Golden State model, which is really what everyone in the NBA is trying to do already. But as much as basketball changes, as much as it stayed the same, and we saw a team in Milwaukee who really they just play conventional basketball. They play conventional basketball, and that's what won them. And it's not like they have a whole bunch of playmakers. They have Drew, they have Chris, and they have Giannis. After that, they have guys who are stars in their roles. They know what to do. And that was, I think that, I don't know, as much as people are trying to poo-poo the magic of the season that we had, like a lot of the reasons why we were able to do what we did in this in the previous season is because we finally had a coach who defined roles for people. So it's just being a star in your role. So with that being said, like you got to find people who can be stars in their roles, and I don't see Andrew Wiggins as being that. Can we trade him for a piece like that? Possibly, but
okay. Well, there
as
you
much
have
as
it.
that, like I wouldn't go into the season with him and be confident. Like him, RJ, but just listening to this trio right now, him, RJ, and Julius. We know Julius is gonna be the best player, but like, who's the second best player?
Yep. Yeah. You know what? And I agree with you. And y'all heard it there from Dan. I think what the thing for me is does he? I think the thing with Andrew Wiggins for me is that he gonna give you what Bullock, a lot of what Bullock wasn't giving us in a sense. But Bullock, I would love to have Bullock back with him. If we get Andrew Wiggins, you keep Reggie Bullock. I think the inconsistency can work itself out because you look at Randall last year, the year before last, he shot 29% from three. I think you put Andrew Wiggins under Tom Thibodeau. That's a different ball game. You look at all the Knicks players this year. RJ was before Tibbs came, he was inconsistent. Randall was inconsistent. All these guys were inconsistent. But once Tibbs came in and brought that culture there, that this is what you got to do, and Johnny Bryant them, I think it can make a difference with a player coming to New York now under Tom Thibodeau compared to coming there under David Fisdale and whoever. I think you look at Randall's maturation last year from where he came from, RJ, his shooting percentage, where he came from. Because one thing about Tom Thibodeau, he makes them cats get in the gym. He makes them get in the gym. You got them, and I think it can pan out. But I get all your points, which is 100%. I agree with you 100%. I just think that maybe Tibbs can unlock something that maybe a lot of other guys couldn't. Because right now, I look at the who was that last year, Atlanta Hawks. You take Trae Young and a bunch of, just like you said, a bunch of cats who knew they role. You know what I mean? These cats just knew they role. With Trae Young and the rest of their role players, because John Collins, he was kind of iffy through the whole playoffs. He wasn't getting it every night. He was iffy. That's why I think he might have hurt himself, you ask me, in the playoffs, because he wasn't really doing it on a regular basis. And Clint Capella, he was getting it. Herder had showed some improvement in the playoffs. So I guess, to me, I think we can have a team like that, but have a better team than that with, because I think we got the players that could do it. So that's a good one. But I'm glad you brought that up because it makes a lot of points. So on your end, no. A lot of other guys, yeah, that's what's up. You know what I mean?
Let me put this. If we get Wiggins, right? Let me see. Let me ask the question to you guys in the chat. If the Knicks were to get Wiggins or Bledsoe, who do you think is be easier to move to trade? If in flip in a trade deadline, I think Wiggins will be because he has more upside. Although even though the point guard is more luxurious, but I don't know.
Exactly. That's the thing. Like, if you get Eric Bledsoe, jeez, I don't. Yo, it hurts just really thinking about either of them in a Knicks uniform. I'm sorry. Give me a minute.
No.
Let me compose myself. I'm sorry. I'm being unprofessional right now.
I know Bledsoe the dog, but I got to pass on that one, man.
Yeah, like that one hurts all right. The reason why picturing Eric Bledsoe in a Knick uniform hurts a lot more is because of our history with point guards.
Mm-hmm.
So we just have to detach from that thought. So that's the thing. Like, would this front office trade for Eric Bledsoe knowing that he's not the type of point guard who drives and kicks?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think and the reason why I did, like, if you can get that Sexton deal done, that Colin Sexton deal done, and that's the reason why I'm thinking that even though all this stuff going on, the best move for the Knicks is Colin Sexton. You could get him way cheaper than a lot of these other things out there. And he fits what we need. He's a dog. So that's why we brought up the Andrew Wiggins thing, because if you did have Colin Sexton, hypothetically, RJ, Wiggins, Randall, and Mitch, or if it's not Wiggins, what's intriguing is the 7 or 14 pick. Now you can go in there and slide in Moses Moody, Davion Mitchell, Isaiah Jackson, Dutre. I mean, am I saying his name right? How you pronounce the last name?
Duarte. Chris Duarte.
Yeah.
Chris Duarte, yeah.
Duarte.
Yeah.
Excuse me. It is Duarte. I don't know why I went to Duarte. It's Duarte.
That's what got me intrigued about that Wiggins deal, is because that 7th or 14th. You know what I mean? I'm like, whoa. That's the only thing. And with that, but to me, the ice on the cake would be Colin Sexton. If we don't go big game hunting with the Kawhi Leonard of the world, the Damian Lillard of the world, if we don't go that route and we're gonna stay second tier until 2022. Then what do we do to get us? I think not Andrew Wiggins. I think Colin Sexton right now would be the best way to go without having to spend all that cap money until next year. And then if you decide you're going to keep him, you keep him. But I think that's the way to go. $6-7 million for what he could do, 24 a game. You got to kind of get with that.
Okay, so within that scenario you propose, that's a question I've been asking myself recently, is that we know that if they don't go big game hunting, reportedly the Knicks are okay with a long-term approach. So now when you say long-term, right, understanding that you still have Julius Randle, who's 26, he's 26 or 27?
26.
No, he's 20. He's 25 going to 26. Yeah, he's 26 years old.
26 years old. Damn.
He's still young.
Julius the same age.
Right.
Damn. So then, okay. that means like, yo, first off, Julius should know he's not like this team is nowhere near ready to compete for a title in the near future. So when they say long-term approach, how far down are you kicking the can?
I think they're going big game hunting next year.
I think it's next year, man. I think everything's next year.
I think everything in that free agent class next year.
No, but that's only if everything shakes right.
Right, I agree.
Like,
but I think,
because this is my thing, right? I know we were made the laughing stock of the summer that Kevin Durant and Kyrie signed to the Nets, right? But what everyone can't get out their mind, which is like what I feel like what everyone feels could have would definitely change the decision was the Achilles injury.
The injury.
Yep.
So now when it's just events like that, you can't say anything is concrete. You can't definitely say
not at all.
They are going big game hunting next year, because if they do say like, all right, let's say Steph Curry does not sign an extension.
That's another name.
Like, no, that right there could possibly like change everything.
Right. That's why I think they're gonna pick these players, because they could hold them, and if they know they could always sign and trade and move these young players, And there's a lot of talent. You've seen all the names on that draft this year, draft class. There's a lot of good talent there, man. There's a lot, man. It's been better than years, because before it was the top 3 picks, and then it would just take a name and throw it to a dartboard, and
this is a deeper draft for sure.
Yeah, in a while, man.
Yeah, real quick. Greg said you don't average 20 and be inconsistent. That's hard to do in the NBA. The average 20 and being consistent. I agree with you 100%. But like I said, we in a good state. Salute to my man Scott Cantor too, man. Scott, we see my man. Salute, man. Greg, salute everybody, man. Y'all run them up with the thumbs up, man. Like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. We here cutting it up. Knicks Real Talk. We got Divine, BA Sports Jedi. We got my man Dan A in the building. Salute to the chat. Y'all already know what y'all doing up in here, man. Y'all got the place buzzing, so don't lose that energy. Keep it moving. Yeah, we got a lot of options there. We can go so many directions, and we just want to get the chat buzzing with a lot of scenarios, because the Knicks got a lot of ways they can go. But I do believe, we a couple of players away from really, really being consistent. I think last year I think when Tom Thibodeau came in, changed the mindset with a lot of people outside the Knicks are thinking now. A lot of players like Reggie Miller and all of them said, they just a star away. That they got a culture down there, that the way they play, they get down. Them cats went 41-31 with one player making over $10 million, made an all-star team, $5-6 million players on 1-year deals, rookies and second-year players, and Tom Thibodeau got them boys to 41 wins. I know if you bring the right couple of dudes in here, the Knicks will be a problem. That's how you build it. The Knicks got a lot of young players already. They got young players. They got Obi, RJ, Quickly, Mitchell, Knox. They got a plethora of young players. So now, do you add a bunch more to that roster? I don't think they're going to do that under Tom Thibodeau. Tom Thibodeau was one of the guys where the Knicks are ready to get in this thing. Because to me, if the Knicks go lower than 4th this year, they went backwards. Now they got to compete to stay up on that 4th, because you think Boston getting better, Philly going to be Philly, Brooklyn going to be Brooklyn, Indiana getting better. I think a lot Charlotte getting better. Are the Knicks going to stay at the 4th spot or go lower? Or the Knicks going to want to say, you know what, we want to stay at that 4th and maybe go higher? We got to look at, do they take a step back or they're going to want to take a step forward? And I think that the latter is they're going to want to be better than they were last year. I just think that's the way the league is. I think that's the way you should always want to be. You want to be better than you were the year before. You want to get better. So I don't know if bringing in a bunch of young guys, not saying we don't bring in none of them, is going to make the Knicks better. I think the Knicks is going to get in that fold. I just think they do, because now they got a culture set. Tom Thibodeau got these boys playing hard. They got the money. They got the capital. I don't think the Knicks going to want to sit there and do that, because I just think this is New York. At least from some fans' perspective. You got a guy like me. I'm an older gentleman, been around way longer than a lot of people, so I'm ready to see our boys get busy, because it's been 40-something years. For some young guys that might say we cool because we know we young, we got time to watch the Knicks win the ring. But a lot of our older fan base probably be like, you know what, man, I ain't seen the Knicks win since '73. I'm 40, 50 years old, where people might say I'm ready to see us get busy. So that's what we had to compete with, is with the fan base and the timing, I guess, and I think that bringing in Thibodeau, now if you'd have brought in Kenny Atkinson, some of these other guys, I can see that. They know what, these guys, I'm going to develop these young boys, we're going to get them to another level. But when you brought in Tom Thibodeau, that's a different story. So it's hard to see. Hopefully, we'll see, man. We got options though to get there, BX and DA. We we in a good spot, man. But I do think they gotta get. I think if the Knicks don't get the 4th seed or higher, it might be a disappointment to us. It might be disappointing. We can say, man, what happened? We fell backwards.
I'm gonna piggyback off of that one with that. I think the Knicks. It's just me. This is me hypothetically thinking. I think the Knicks right now, they say they could repeat a 4th seed again and get out of the first round they'll sign up for it right now, no matter who or what they bring in here. Even if they bring the kids, the draft picks, and they could repeat that, I think they'll be fine, because now they could sit down in the negotiating table and say 2 years in a row, we've been 4th seed. We got out of the first round, or even if we say we couldn't get out of the first round again, we need you to come on this team, a la James Harden, or wherever the darling free agents are, whoever they want to target. And I think you're the player that could bring us and take us to the over the top to the next level. And if you need, and what is it going to take for me to bring? Do you need me to bring someone else? Because you could see we've done this 2 years in a row. With this here, with what we have, and what can you do? And I think I think they might go that route, in my opinion. I might be different, and I also see your point. I'm also haven't seen the Knicks win. I just wasn't born a couple years when the Knicks won. I was born a couple years after, so I still haven't seen them. The most I could see is the '94 team, and the '99 team, and that's as far as. And I do want to see them win, but I understand, it's split because it's 50-50 with the fan base. They want to win now, or they want to build for the long run. In my opinion, go ahead, Dan.
I know you guys said that if we don't maintain the 4th seed, it would be a disappointment.
No, I don't know.
No. I
don't think I was going to ask you guys a question, right?
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dan. I'm sorry.
Let's say we get the 6th seed, we don't do the play-in or whatever. Mm-hmm. And with the 6th seed, you facing the 3 seed, right?
Number 3.
Number 3. And let's say we push the 3 seed to 6 or 7 games. Is that a disappointment?
No, not at all. Even if we wind up in the 8, it's not really about. I guess what I'm trying to say is not really about what position we wind up getting in the playoffs.
Because that's what I was about to say. Yeah. Like, you can't really say right now that if we don't maintain the 4th, that it would be a disappointment, because certain teams make moves that certain teams just don't expect. Like everyone expected, like everyone thinks that the Heat's season is a disappointment this year. Well, in retrospect, they were racked with COVID in the beginning. They had to play through all those games, and then after that, they got a Milwaukee Bucks team that was waiting, licking their chops, ready for them. So is their season a disappointment, or is it just something where like they have to, especially coming off of a finals?
I think it'd be disappointing to them, maybe not to the fan base.
Yeah,
as players, it would be, absolutely, because I think they, and the same thing happened to the Miami Heat, happened to Brooklyn, happened to us. Happened to every team in the NBA. Everybody had injuries. Everybody had COVID situations. The whole, even the Knicks, we lost Mitchell Robinson. We lost Obi at the beginning of the year. We had a lot of injuries going through the Knicks last year too, as well. And but I think every team was like that. But I think it was a disappointment to Miami, because Miami was the Eastern Conference champ. You know what I mean? They probably would going in the next year. I think what happened to them when they lost Kelly Olynyk, they lost a couple of guys that was important to that team. You know what I mean? And Derrick Jones Jr. They lost some key players, but yeah, I get what you. I don't think that it's a disappointment, but I think with the Knicks feel, this is me personally, guys. Real quick, we get back to all that. When the Knicks lost that first round, that left a bad taste in their mouth. I think that left a bad taste in their mouth. They're like, listen, we came into this thing 3rd in 3-point shooting, 3rd in defense. We go in the playoffs and we lay that. egg, bro. You know, that was disappointing to the front office and the fan base, because Julius was shooting bricks, RJ was shooting bricks, Bullock was everybody was just stinking up the joint in the playoffs. And I do, now that you think about this year coming in, everybody getting better. Boston getting better. They loading up. Indiana gonna load up. Brooklyn gonna be there. Everybody gonna get better. So what do we do if everybody else getting better? Are we to get better? Because if we don't get better, it
And
might be.
that's I understand your point. So now from that perspective, I think we have to have our own timeline, and it has to be something like we have to have our own accomplishment, and it has to be something different from that.
Right.
I
I
don't
got
think
you.
just maintaining the fourth seed, like I don't think it mattered whether we had home court advantage or not. The better team won.
Oh
So
yeah,
at that
absolutely.
point, I don't think the Knicks, uh, I don't think the Knicks' agenda this year should be, oh, let's get home court advantage and let's push through to the second round. I think more so it's like we're gonna maintain being a playoff team. We're
Mm,
gonna stay, within that one through six. We're not dropping below, six. That's gonna
mm.
be, our standard.
Yeah, yeah,
Maintain a
absolutely.
standard for the whole organization, and then from there you have, okay, now when we have that standard, here's what we're not going to do. We're not going to go out in a gentleman's suite. We're going to at least push it 6 7 games. That's what we're going to do. And in order to do that, here's the type of talent that we need.
Yep.
And I
Right,
think that should be the
I
right.
think
that
I
should
agree
be
with you.
the
I agree with you.
mindset.
Absolutely, I agree with you 100% on that one. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, the four seed thing. That just my feeling, but I agree with you 100%. You could be the ace as long as you get in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Because it's not like you said. It don't matter if you got first round or not. You just got to get in there. If you don't got home court, you got to steal a game. That basically you got to do it that way. So I do agree with you 100% on that. Real quick, but let me get conspiracy talk here. Conspiracy talk. Salute, man. Thanks for chiming into the show. We appreciate you coming on. Salute to the chat. Y'all still up in here. Salute to everybody out there looking at us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you chiming in from. We appreciate y'all. My man Elton Lee just jumped up in the building. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, y'all go ahead and subscribe and hit them like buttons, man. Run them up with the thumbs up and all that good stuff. We're going to keep this thing moving. Sunday night, we talking Knicks. We got Dan A, BX Sports Jedi. You know what they do down there. Go run up on there. Holla at BX Sports Jedi. Salute to that channel, man. Get it popping down there. Let's keep it moving, man. Real quick, Mr. Ball. He said, will Mr. Ball make the team better? Good question. Conspiracy talk. Let me ask the panel that. BS, what you think, man? You talking about Lonzo Ball? Will he make the team better? What you think?
I think he would, especially at 15 million, but not at 22.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that one.
I'm
What do
not
you
gonna
think?
lie. If I'm doing that, like I'd only do that to put Reggie Bullock on the bench
Yeah.
because I'm. We don't. Everyone has to understand. There is no point guard on the free market. There is no point guard on the free market.
Not no
Okay,
Spencer Dim. No, you poo-pooing Spencer Dinwiddie?
I don't see him as a point guard.
Really?
No,
I always thought
especially
that
not a
way too. I
point
always
guard
thought he
that would
would.
thrive in our system.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
don't think he. I don't think he's creative enough around the basket, and I don't think he. I don't think he could. You know, because he looked really good he looked really good in Kenny Atkinson's system, but it was all about pick and roll and getting the 3-point shot. But that's not what Thibodeau's doing. So I think it's all about catering to Thibodeau's system. We know what our coach wants. Like this isn't like any other year where we're guessing what the coach is gonna do or what the front office is gonna do. No, we know what our coach wants, and his results, speak for themselves most of the time. So
mm.
we have to just get a better point guard, but a better point guard that can do this, that, and whatever. And those things are drive to the basket, kick it out to capable shooters, and get your own shot. 3-level score. I don't know.
Let me ask you this: if it's available, because I know he's not too great. What about D'Angelo Russell? He's
No,
quiet. It's quiet. No, no,
they're not giving him up. I don't think they're
no.
giving him
I
up
think so.
because
When Anthony Edwards, Carl Anthony Towns, and
no, because those Cat and D'Lo. How many games have they played together?
not much. No, not much.
So
Very,
they had
very, very small
the
sample
team
size.
played a, they paid a premium for him, but they haven't even seen him on the court yet. So I think they
Okay.
got to at least, because they can't move him. Because even if you did try to move him right now, it's going to cost them more.
Yeah,
Got you. Okay.
at the end of the year, he finally got together with Cat. They had some pretty good games at the end of the year. He started playing with them at the end of the year. So yeah, with him, Malik Beasley, Anthony Edwards, they got draft picks coming up. I think
And now
Minnesota.
you have a better coach in
Right.
Chris Finch. Like it looks like that might be a better situation. I think the West, I think the West should, kind of just have a, look out for Minnesota, because I
New
think they might
ownership.
be a sneaky good team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick, hey Scott, I love that lineup. I ain't gonna front that. What Sexton, RJ, Bill, Randall, and Mitch? Sign me up, bro. For real, sign me
I
up. Hey,
I gotta
Lord
ask, who's
God.
the point guard?
He got Sexton, RJ, Randall.
Sexton
This
is
is
not a point guard.
You know what? I think in this game, the way the Knicks playing, I think he can handle that. Like I said, sometimes we got to start looking at these guys from where they were at. He came in the league at the point. He was too. We got even like this. I think what I'm trying to say is this is like for this basketball nowadays in the league. I think these guys, like, even quickly, people say he's not a point guard, but then again, he grew up being a point guard. I think if you know how to dribble a ball and you got the right coach to teach you how to do certain things, and I think Sexton coming out of Alabama, my man, what's his name, Avery Johnson, like, yeah, I think this point guard should go to the Knicks. I think sometimes when you playing on certain teams, like he might not have been a point guard because of Darius Garland. You know what I mean? Because you had Darius Garland there taking up majority of the point guard, but when he came in, he was drafted. He came in the league as a point guard, so he averaged 4 assists last year. So think about it. If Darius Garland wasn't there, he might have could have had more. So I think I don't have no problem running Sexton at a point guard. I think the way we play basketball, because 9 out of 10, what we're gonna do? We're gonna post Julius Randle. You know what I mean? Or we're gonna get on the wing and then let him run in the try. But I think what I like about Colin Sexton, he is a bulldog.
That
That cat
okay.
will get
Like
it.
this is what I wanted to talk about, right?
Mhm.
Like, this is what I don't want Knicks fans to do. I don't want them to have the expectation, like, when he comes in here, that he's gonna be a point guard. Like, if if that's what you're expecting, then I'm sorry, that's not what's gonna happen. If anything, what we're gonna see next year, if we get Colin Sexton, which I have no problem with seeing, because I think it would be interesting, is that you have Randall touching the ball now, but now because you have a threat in Sexton who can get his own shot,
Mhm.
I like, if Randall wants, he could pass it to him, and we know Sexton, he's gonna at least keep the ball out of Randall's hands a lot more, and he knows how to get his own shot. So if that's what if that's what you're asking for, and that's what we're getting, I'm so with that as well, and
Yeah.
I think that would be interesting to see.
Real quick, let me let BH chime in. I think the key
yeah.
difference of all that to me is Tom Thibodeau. You got to play in my system. This is what I want you to do. See, and that's what I mean. I think Tom Thibodeau said, "Listen, this is the plays we're gonna run. This is what I expect you to do. This is what I expect you to do. This is what I expect you to do." It's different when you come into a coach who got a structure. Now, when he was out there in Cleveland, come on, them cats, word is born, yo.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? They don't got no. They had John Beeline coaching this dude. Come on, you know what I mean? But I think being with Tom Thibodeau, he would make sure this cat don't overdo what he need to do. You know what I mean? I think you got to get in where you fit in. So from that point, I don't have a problem with. I agree with everything you're saying about he might not be a pass first point guard, but I do think Tom Thibodeau can make it work for the Knicks. But I mean, I just think, like, he to me, that's like Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is a point guard, but he's not a point guard. But they'll make it work. You know what I mean?
you damn near can make it work, and that's So, like, that's what I could see with Colin Sexton. He could
Mhm.
damn near make it work, and if it comes to a point where there's a deal on the table that's too good to give up, and he has
Snap
to
him
be a
up.
part of that, I have no problem in that.
Yeah. What
Yeah,
about
that's why you have to keep an eye in the first few draft picks. If especially if Houston picked a big vital part what they're going to do in Cleveland. If Houston takes Mobley and they leave them with Jaren Green or Kuminga, it's up to Cleveland. Cleveland, I mean, Jared Green is a better player than Kuminga, but Kuminga fits what the Cleveland Cavaliers need. You know, if they want to keep Garland or Corey and Sexton, then they go with Kuminga in a power forward. But if they get Green, guaranteed they got to move one of the guards because you can't bring those three guys. What are you gonna tell? You're gonna tell Sexton to go on the bench and be a 6-man with 20+ points a game?
Nah,
Hell no. It's not gonna happen.
with the
So
contract extension up,
correct.
No,
And then the Knicks, and then you're the Knicks. You don't you. I'm only giving you one draft pick and maybe a future number 2, or you could be frugal or play hardball to try to, I'm not giving you any
draft
players.
pick are you giving them?
I would go 21. I won't even give them 19 if they're playing hardball. Hey, they got a They got a plethora. They got a log jam and a position. They're not demanding you a position of strength. You could even try. You could even try to get them for the 30.
I'm giving them 58,
and that might get it done. You know what? 58 and maybe a future 2024 first round pick.
No, because we're coming from because here's at the end of the day we're trading to have the power to pay him. That's what we're trading for.
Exactly.
So I'm not even giving up 32. What is it? The
30-second pick. Yes.
No, I'm giving them the 58.
Or two second round picks.
Huh?
2 second round picks, or even
no, 32 is like the top of the second round.
No, but I'm not saying this. You could give him 58 this year, next year's second round pick.
Yeah.
I had to be clarified.
To make him feel good.
Because at 30, you could still get a hell of a player. 32, you could still get a hell of a player that could contribute on the team. In my opinion,
I'm on Frank. I'm on Frank for Colin Sexton, 24 points a game. I'm giving you a first round pick this year. I wouldn't give a crap. Knicks haven't had this. Hold up, let me get my point up. The Knicks haven't had a point guard or player like Colin Sexton in years. And I've been watching the Knicks for a long time. They haven't had a point guard in New York or a guard in New York since the last time we signed Derrick Rose. The last time to do what he could do. It ain't one of them cats come out of the draft. I think Colin said, I'll give you Knox one of them firsts this year for that dude. Because he's going to make the Knicks way better in the playoffs coming up this year. And we would have had, I even know we want to make sure that we can sign him, but I think put like this here, if we don't give it to him, somebody going to give Colin Sexton 2 or 3. We ain't going to be the only team bidding against this dude. You know what I mean?
I understand all that, right? But here's my point. You just drafted for his position. You just let me know everything right there. He don't fit for you. You're getting rid of him. You're not dealing from a position of power. Like 24 points. Like you could be like, I don't know how else to say it. You could be selling me something shiny, cool, new, this, that, whatever. But like from the position that you're selling it in is where it matters. Like it's all about the art of the deal.
I get that, but at the same time, you're not getting no second round for somebody that listen. I'm a businessman, and I deal with multiple businesses all day. You are not getting Colin Sexton for no second round pick because you know why? Another team gonna be like, it might not be the Knicks. Somebody will say, you know what? Here, I'm willing to. This cat can do what he needs us to do. We'll give you 2 first rounders for him because he's that talented. I think sometimes you can't underestimate talent. I do think if you ask me if the Knicks say I give you the 19th Kevin Knox and put like this here, because none of them guys in that first round guarantee they're gonna be Sexton. Even if you sign Sexton, you sign to a long-term deal, you have to pay to play. You're not getting peanut for no Colin Sexton. He's that good.
Understand that. Which is why I said I'm giving up Knox and the second round pick. But that's it.
Yeah, you're not getting Sexton.
If I'm not getting them, that's fine. Because this free agency class, everyone has a problem.
And it's not that we don't want them.
We're trying to sift through it.
It's not the want them or giving them for peanuts, guys. No, it's not the hating either.
It's
the point is
Dan. Hold on for a minute. Let everybody go one at a time.
Hold on. Yeah, let me real quick. I'll be quick, Dan. I'll be that quick before we're done. the thing is, they got too many. They got too many position of players. If they draft, only if the draft pan out, guys. I'm not. Colin Sexton would love to get him there, but if you got so many of the same positions, why are you letting go someone who's proven with 25 points to go for the unknown? You're
Because
bringing in.
here's the reason. Yes, here's the reason. They do not have the money to sign that extension. That's the only reason they letting him go, because they can't afford to give him 168 million in their organization. They're not letting him go because of talent. They letting him go because they are not going to be able to sign that dude to an extension. So
I got a rebuttal on that one, Divine. When you done.
right, and I do think they're going to sign Jared Allen. You know what I mean? And Jared Allen's going to eat up some of that money. So that's the only reason I think they moving him, because I don't think they. I think Darius Garland is going to come up. I think Darius Garland could do what Colin Sexton could do, and you got Darius Garland for cheap because he got more years out of his rookie deal, opposed to Colin Sexton, who rookie deal is about to be up, and then they're gonna have to get that boy a max deal. That's the reason why they letting him go.
That's true, but they could get him. They could get more out of him if they would have traded him last year or this year. And also they're about to give Jared Allen a lot of money. They're
That's
about
what
to
I
sign
mean.
him a lot of money too. So it's like, it's like you could go over your own cap for your own players. If he's scoring 25, 27 points a game, 20 in that area, that you could give him more money. Why not draft a player, a position of need, like a power forward in a Kaminga, or and not the same exact position again? I don't know. I want Sexton. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying no. I'm just saying, if the Knicks have an opportunity to play hardball and try to fleece them, they should explore it. No, I'm not saying, guys, that not to bring him in here and Sexton is not guard. No. If you have a position of strength, try to get it. Try to utilize it.
You know what? It is the name of the game that you get more for less. I mean, that's obvious, but we not the only ones that's bidding for this dude. So that's not going to fly, because it's other teams that's going to want to bid for Sexton. So I would not lose Sexton because I won't want to give up a 1 first rounder. I would not lose that dude for when because it ain't only the Knicks. Everybody gonna, even though we want to fleece him. You got a lot of other teams might want to fleece him, but it might be a team that might say, you know what, we really need this dude. We're going to give you 2 first round picks because that's how bad we need him. But I do think that if you think selling Colin Sexton for a second round pick, that's crazy. Because remember, then you look at they got Darius Garland. Who to say they're going to draft? They might not draft a point guard. They might not go that route. We don't know who they're going to draft. They might not pick a point guard. You know what I mean? They might feel like we got our point guard and Garland. We might want a shooter. We might want a wing to go with a Coro. We might want, I don't know, because it's hard to say what they're going to draft. But I think the only reason Cleveland is moving him is because that organization, no, they not. Colin Sexton is not taking them to the championship in the next 2 years. They're not going to be there. So I'm not giving you 168 million. We're not even going to sniff the playoffs. I don't think they would do that. Why would they even give him 168 million? They're not even sniffing the playoffs. So I don't think they would give him that contract extension, because they don't feel their team might be 7 years away from going to the playoffs or the finals. So why, I don't know if they would do that. You know, from me, if I was the owner, I wouldn't give Colin Sexton $168 million and all we're going to do is be 20-something wins a season or 30 wins a season. That's crazy. So that's the reason why they moving them, because they not going nowhere in the next 5 years. That'd be crazy to do that. So that's the reason why, me personally, I think why they might be trying to get rid of him, because they don't want to give Colin Sexton that deal. And if they can get something for him now, they're gonna go ahead and make the move. You know what I mean? And I think, but like, I don't know who they're gonna draft. They might draft a point guard, but now they draft a point guard. If that point guard, they might like BX. He's right. They might draft him a backup Garland, or they might draft him ahead of Garland. See, I don't know how that's gonna go with Garland there. Do you draft this guy? If like I said, if he's a what you call it, how y'all say, a generational player, I get it. And so I just want to piggyback off y'all with my thoughts. Not nobody's wrong here. I'm just trying to make sure we all understand the Colin Sexton scenario. Colin Sexton is a good basketball player. He's on the come up. It ain't like he's regressing. He's ascending. So I don't think you're going to get him for a second round pick. I don't think that's going to happen, personally.
I understand that, right? This is my point, though. When Colin Sexton was drafted, he was drafted to be a point guard, right? They saw that didn't work out. So now they drafted Darius Garland to be the point guard. move Colin Sexton to shooting guard, right? That's working out. But right now they can't pay him, even though I believe he still has one more year on the rookie deal, right?
Yes.
So you can even parlay for that, right? Here's the reason why I'm playing hardball. If I know there's competition for Colin Sexton, what everyone seems to be forgetting is that they're gonna attach Kevin Love to that deal. Kevin Love is coming along on that deal.
That's not necessarily. Not necessarily. That's
So
not necessarily. I don't think so. I don't think so.
they're
They might.
trying to move Kevin Love.
I agree with you. I do agree with you. They trying to move him, but I don't necessarily think he has to come in that Colin Sexton deal.
Because
They might be
that's the
willing to
only
move him.
asset they can move with Kevin Love.
Kevin Love is not even an asset.
No,
Okay,
no,
an
but this is
asset.
no,
Oh, my
but
language.
that's what I'm saying. That's the only asset they can move with Kevin Love in order to make that trade an asset.
I don't know.
You understand what I'm saying? If you tell an organization, hey, if you tell an organization's owner, hey, we just traded for Kevin Love, what is he gonna tell you? You're fired.
That's
You tell him we traded for Kevin Love and Colin Sexton. What does that trade look like?
Yep. Well, listen, I'm looking at the chat, boy. They like, man, you know what I mean? I don't. Like I said, I can see him. I can see them trying to get rid of Kevin Love. It's one thing to try to get rid of somebody. It's another thing if you can get rid of them. Somebody. So I don't know. I don't think you got to get. I don't think you got to move Colin Sexton. I don't think you got to move Kevin Love to get Colin Sexton. I don't think
No,
you have
but
to do
see,
that.
It might
I
have
think
to.
no, but that has to happen because the only way you're removing that type of contract off your books, and we've seen it recently with Russ and John Wall, is you're only trading that type of contract for another messed up contract.
I like what Nick P said. And if they tell you we'll give you could take Sexton, you have to take Love's contract. No, you're not gonna give up first round picks.
I can't give up first round picks
No.
for Colin Sexton, knowing that Kevin Love
Right.
is coming on to that attached.
And then the owners could tell their fan base, we got rid of the contract, well, we had to give up Sexton
Colin
in the deal.
Sexton, but we
get
still
relief.
kept our first round pick.
I think
Right,
if you
right.
only way I can see that get done, and I agree with somebody, if you do a 3-team trade and you get him involved. But I do not believe to get Sexton that you have to do that. I just don't believe you have to do that. So they may want to do that. They may want to move him with Colin Sexton, but you don't have to move Colin Sexton with no Kevin Love, because you could move Colin Sexton by yourself. If somebody give you the right stuff, they be like, okay.
So then this is the thing, right? Now you're getting now you're gonna have to get a third team involved into this trade. So now you're gonna have to give up a lot more.
Yeah,
Maybe not. I don't know, Dan.
You know what? It's the NBA, man, and things work out some way. Some things work out, and
I'm not opposed to Colin Sexton on the team at all, and I'm just gonna play as much. I'm gonna play hardball
on that one, bro.
I'm gonna play
Why are
hardball because
why are we want to give up our draft?
I want to keep those first round talents, those first round picks, because if I can move them up for at least one more pick, if I can move them up for like a higher pick, I mean,
you could do that. But I think
with
everybody
talent. That's the reason why Colin Sexton did not look as good as he was supposed to. He was not surrounded with the right talent. Surround him around the better.
Here's the thing about them picks too,
and
guys.
in order to do that, you need the right assets.
You're right. Here's the thing about them picks. The Knicks got 7 first-round picks in the next 4 years. A lot of these guys is never going to see New York. There's no way we in the next 7 years, every one of these guys we draft going to play for the New York Knicks. That's impossible, because we're going to be
if we keep drafting them. Yeah.
But I guess what I'm saying is because we're going to be pretty soon, 2 or 3 years from now. Like, even if you move the Dallas picks, well, so what? They weren't our picks anyway. You know what I mean? It ain't like the Knicks go backwards because they moved the 2 Dallas picks, because you know why? Let's say, they still got their own picks. I think that's just icing on the cake. But I do think that the Knicks is not gonna every year. See, we sometime at the fan base we get caught up. I love these young players. I love these guys. I love these. Some of them they ain't gonna pan out. And you look at Kevin Knox. He was our 8th pick. Look at Frank. He was an 8th pick. A lot of these guys don't pan out. They don't pan out. And so you can't be afraid to move a pick, which is unproven, for a proven dude who's going to help you get to another level. When you know next year we got the 222 seconds, we got a first round in 2022, we got two in 2023, we got. I mean, we're gonna. It can be willed and dealt. Like BX said, if you move him for a 2024 for Sexton, I'd do that shit in a heartbeat.
I can do, yeah.
Yeah, a
I'm,
lot
I'm
of
not
guys
opposed to
not
doing that.
they not gonna. I'm telling you, a lot
I'm
of these
not opposed.
guys.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to doing that. But for this draft, and also here's another thing, I'm not gonna be so quick to move those Dallas picks either because they have protections on them. And if Dallas wants to move around and have a lot of, cap space, we would have to remove those protections. And I want that controlling power.
Yeah, Frank Mato, Sexton, RJ, Randall, Mitchell, Obi, quickly Luca, and 65 million. Yeah, man, that's you bring me that man down here. I mean, hey, I'll give up a 20. I'll give up a first this year for him because let's say one of them first round picks come in here and they wind up like Kevin Knox, or they wind up like whoever, like Lonzo Trier, whoever. These cats is not proven until they prove it. You got to give them an opportunity. I'm not saying trade away our picks, but at the same time, Colin Sexton is a talent, bro. He is a talent. How many dudes in the NBA this year put up 24 points a game out of the whole NBA? It wasn't a lot of them. Julius Randle didn't even put up 24 points this year. The kid can play. He can make a difference in New York. That too can make a difference. And if a cat can make a difference, you go. If you can get him for a first round pick when you got, I got that's to me is like you got to look at the pros and cons of that because there's pros and cons to all this stuff. We got to look at the pros and cons. What would a 19th pick do for the Knicks this year compared to what Colin Sexton do for the Knicks this year? Would a 19th pick help get us to the playoffs, or would Colin Sexton help get us to the playoffs and maybe further? That's what the Knicks organization gonna have to weigh. You're gonna have to weigh what is this young man who can do for us compared to what Colin Sexton can do for us, and that's how the Knicks is gonna judge it. Because you can get a 19th pick. The 19th pick, like I said, Kevin Knox was an 8th pick. Frank was an 8th pick. Obi was an 8th pick. Look at these dudes. Look at them.
I'm gonna combat that with remember, but this is a different scouting team. This is a different scouting regime. When we picked, when Knox and Nicolino was picked.
No, but hold up. Knox was picked by this regime now. Or Scott Perry picked Knox.
No.
It's a different scouting team.
Yes,
they got rid of the entire
the GM, the general manager is the same.
Like
the general manager
this is my thing.
Okay,
no, this is my
true.
thing. The only person,
You're right. I made that
the
mistake.
only person that stayed from the old regime was Scott Perry, which is why him getting the contract extension was so big.
Okay, my bad. I'll put you again.
Like they got rid of everybody.
So with that said, I trust the scouting report a little more better than it is. I want Sexton. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to play devil's advocate. Let me play devil's advocate. I want him, guys. Don't. I want to be the devil's advocate. Why on if he's scoring and he's doing these numbers, could it be on empty calories, like a team that wasn't going nowhere that they could fill up the board? Or why would, if he's such an asset, why are they look quickly to get rid of him? So those are my concerns on that end of being a devil's advocate on the other end. But man, I want him here. Get him in here. I'm on record with that.
I wouldn't want to say empty stats because he is playing other NBA teams. But what I would want to say is, like, if everyone is watching the tapes on Colin Sexton, do you guys think he's gonna be used the same way in the Knicks over here? And if not, can he be a different player per se and still get those same numbers? And that's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get the same number because he got more talent around him. So he might not be 24; it might be 18 now. But
now it's all about how he gets that 18.
But you know what? We have to leave that up to Tom Thibodeau.
And that, yeah,
here's my thing right here.
Conversation.
Hold up for a minute. Who was their coach last year? And who was his coach last year in Cleveland?
JB Bickerstaff.
And before that,
John Beilein. Yeah,
ain't none of them cats Tom Thibodeau. None of them. So what I'm saying is, we got to look at what Tom Thibodeau did for the Knicks. He turned RJ into a better player. He turned Julius into a better player. He made these guys better, but they also bought into the system.
Right.
So Colin Sexton going to get better under Tom Thibodeau to me because he around a coach who knows the game. He's accountable. Colin Sexton, you ain't gonna come down court and do that in New York. Tom Thibodeau, man, nah, I'll sit you on the bench. It's sometimes it's who you play around or who you play with. That's why I was saying with Andrew Wiggins, it's different playing in Minnesota than playing with Steve Kerr. It's different. It's just different. You know what I mean? You got people who know basketball inside out. They lifers, they gamers. They got a certain sport, a certain, how do I say, respectable to their name, respect to their name. Tom Thibodeau ain't putting up the nonsense if that was the case. Tom Sexton would put like this here. He 5 times better than Elton Payton. He 5 times better than Emmanuel Mudiay. He any point guard we had in New York in the last 8 years, except for Derrick Rose in his first tenure here, he better than all of them. Hands down. All of them. Think about the Knicks point guard over the last 8 years and tell me one of them dudes could do what Colin Sexton could do on a regular basis. Name me one of them. You can't do it.
No, there's none. There's none. There's no one.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So for somebody that talented who we haven't had in the organization in years, you wouldn't give up a first round pick for him? That's crazy.
Yeah, that's one. Crazy. I won't give up more than 2 in the same year. If you want to do 2, okay. I would do 2 in separate years, leapfrog.
Right. Yeah. And I'm with that. I agree with you 100%. And that's my point. I agree with you 100%. My main thing is that I think you're going to have to give up a first for Sexton. Now, if he was like I can see with a Kevin Knox, you wouldn't give up a first rounder for. It's guys you wouldn't give up a first round pick for. Let's be honest. It's a lot of guys in the NBA you would not give up a first round pick for. He ain't one of them. I'll tell you that. You give up guys like these certain guys. You give up a second rounder for him. You give up you maybe give up. That dude ain't telling them guys. What would you give up for Kevin Knox? What would you give up for Obi Toppin? Would you give up first for Obi Toppin?
At this point, at this juncture,
yeah.
No,
if you
end up
had to trade him. If a team wanted Obi Toppin, what do you think his value is? Do you think Obi Toppin is worth a first round pick?
If it's a first round pick in this NBA draft, 27, 28, it all depends on the year of the draft. In the end of the year,
but I'm saying even this year, is Obi Toppin worth a first round pick this year? If somebody wanted to trade.
I mean, but if a team wanted a later first round pick, if a team was offering up a later first round pick, I'd possibly do that.
So if you give up a late round first pick for Obi, what would you get? What would you give up for Colin Sexton? See, that's what I'm trying to say. You put Obi and Colin Sexton right now at where they at in the NBA. It's like this here. Colin Sexton's up here, Obi's down here. So if you give up a late for Obi, if you're willing to give up a late first for Obi, man, what would you give up for Colin Sexton?
I understand that, Devon, but my point is like Robert Parr is saying in the chat, it depends on how the team plans on using him.
Okay.
Like I think that's all that matters. And so if you plan on using him in a way that is going to be expendable, and you have to keep a certain amount of assets, like there's a certain limit I'm not going over, because I don't think we're like, if we can still acquire some assets, we can, but I don't think we're in the asset acquiring mode right now. Now I think we're in the talent building mode, and that requires giving up assets.
You said you don't think we're in a talent building mode?
No, I don't think we're, I think, there's different phases to a rebuild. First you acquire talent, then you build, first you acquire assets, then you trade those assets to build talent, and so forth and so on. I think we're past the point of acquiring assets. I think we're in a point now where we know where we are, and we have to just build talent. So
the foundation is in place. Yeah.
Yeah. In order to build up what we have, we have to sell some things, and I understand that. Like, we're no longer in the point where we're trying to get a team's future first round pick. That doesn't help us.
Exactly. That's my whole point. That's why I was saying I don't think we not in now we in a I think we where the Knicks are right now, Knicks are looking to get players who's gonna help them win. That's it. Like you said, we ain't into the shop before. We got enough picks and all that stuff that we don't need even go that route. The Knicks organization right now is on a where can we get to next? They
Okay,
I just
I
think
got a
that's where they
question for you then. Now I got a question for you, right? Knowing that there's one more year left on that rookie deal, and knowing that the Knicks said if they didn't go big game hunting this year, they're gonna go for the long term. Do you still acquire Colin Sexton?
I do because I think he could be part of the long term solution. I think he fits the timeline of what we have there. His age, his game, his mindset, his work ethic, his drive. Him, Julius Randle, R.J. Barrett, them guys are all in the same timeline. And like we have to start thinking about like you said, like Giannis and them. Look what Giannis and Chris Middleton, they've been together 8 years. We can't, we got to get a team that's going to be together and grow together. You can't just like we've been the old Knicks has been throwing players in there. We buy this guy, we buy this guy. If you get Colin Sexton, he young. Julius Randle young. RJ young. I think he can grow with that team. I
I
think he
understand
can
that. So
be part
then
of that
this is what I'm saying, right? Knowing what the cap space is. In how many years are you gonna have to pay RJ?
in 2 years.
In how many years are you gonna have to pay Julius?
That's this coming up next year.
In
Whatever
how many years are you gonna have to pay Colin Sexton?
next year.
If
2 years.
not in a year, in two. You're either gonna
Mitchell
have to pay
Robinson.
Colin Sexton and Julius Randle at the same time, or you're gonna have to pay Colin Sexton and RJ Barrett at the same time.
And that's
At
fine.
either one of those points, your cap is gonna take a hit, and you're not gonna be able to build talent for a while.
That's
That's what I'm
let's put it like
saying.
this
Like,
way.
because
No, because hold
we're
up,
still
Dan.
waiting for the salary cap to build up.
But
So
I
now,
do
with
think,
that in mind, what I'm asking you is, knowing what the salary cap situation is, do you still take those? Do you still take that risk?
yeah, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with that if I know that's going to be my main core right there. If I know these are guys that I want, just like they did Steph Curry, Draymond Green. Hypothetically, I'm not saying these players are them. What I'm saying is because they signed Draymond Green, they gave Curry his money, they gave him his money. Let's go to San Antonio Spurs. They get Duncan his money, they get Ginobili his money, they get Parker his money. Let's go to Miami Heat. You're gonna have to do that anyway. So now you do have a chance to go over the cap in some situation with some players. But if he's a guy that they think this it can be a part of the Knicks culture and a franchise that he can help them get to where they got to go, yeah, they're gonna. I don't have no problem with them doing it because you gotta. You like I said, look at the Kumbo and them. They when they first him and Chris Middleton got together, they were together for years. Look at him. He make 200 million. Chris Middleton make 100 something, 158 million. They just gave Drew Holiday 80 something million. That all that could be worked out, and look what happened. Because you know why? The players they look at the players that's around them. They look at like the Brooklyn Nets did. Brooklyn Nets got 3 guys that's making 100 something $1,000,000. You got to know how to wheel and deal. So they brought in guys that was on buyout contracts. They gave these vet minimums. They did it, and look where they at. Look where them guys is at. So yeah, it could be done. I don't have a problem with if the Knicks do think R.J. Barrett, Sexton, and Julius Randle is going to be their core for the next 5 years. I have no problem doing it because that's what they believe in. And look at all these teams out there, man. Look at CJ McCullough, 100-something million. Damian Lillard, almost 200 million. And you got these other catch top. It's the business of sport. It could be done. So I think with Brock Aller down there and Walt Perry in the draft, and I think the Knicks can get it done. Scott Perry did some wise things. So I wouldn't put it past them. If that was going to be their core, Dan, if it wasn't, then I would say, okay, don't even get them. I wouldn't get Colin Sexton if the Knicks is not going to sign him. I wouldn't give up in the first round, a couple of first. I wouldn't do that. But if I do think the Knicks are going to make him part of the long-term plan, I'll give you a first and a second because he's going to be part of this plan. But I wouldn't give him away for if you ain't going to sign him into an extension. I wouldn't do that. That would be fool's gold. So, yeah, I mean, that was good thought, like good chat, good segment. Colin Sexton, because you know what? He could make a difference. But I do think he's possible to get, but I do think we're gonna have to give up a first round pick for him. And I think the Knicks would get him if they're going to sign him. I don't think New York will give away no picks just to let Colin Sexton walk out the door. I don't think nobody's going to do that. You know what I mean? So good point. I mean, every point was good on point, man. Everything was good. But salute to the chat, man. Great fiery thing on Colin Sexton. You see what great minds think alike. We all thinking of all the scenarios of what could be. I might not agree with everybody's point, man. But you know, it's that's what we do. We debate about good sports topics. What our thought is, what your thought is, what his thoughts is, and that's what we do. We keep it moving. But yeah, I mean, you know, if he ain't the Damian Lillard and all them, and you can get him for that, I have to roll with him. You know, just due to the fact that he don't cost too much. He talented as he is, he don't cost a lot. I think that's the only reason I want him in New York. I think right now, even for this 1 year, I think he can make a difference. He can make a difference getting us to getting us out of this. I think Colin Sexton can help us get out the first round. Even if we draft a bunch of young guys, but just to put him at that point guard spot, a better the Knicks' chances of better they were last year because they did bring in another talent better than what they had there last year. Then you add him with maybe you bring in a Derrick Rose and a Luka Valdoza. That's a nice core point guards right there. So now you know with basketball, I mean you know like quickly can even run the point. I think all them cats know how to dribble a basketball. If the coach said this is where I want you to pass the ball to, they'll teach them. I just think they all that young, and I do think they got enough time to learn the game even more. Look, Giannis just learning how to shoot a 3-point shot. He's been in the game 8 years. I mean, you adjust your game as you go, and I think Colin Sexton might be that dude that you know what. Let me show y'all what I really could do, but I couldn't really show y'all because of the way the team was constructed. Darius Garland was the point guard more the less. But you look at his numbers, I think he had like 3 or 4 assists. Shit, our point guard wasn't even doing that this year. So we had to see. Good thing. It's not a bad problem to have. I tell you that much. But if they sign him, I wouldn't give up no first round picks if you ain't gonna sign him though. That's for sure. Y'all can kick rocks with that. If you ain't gonna re-sign him, then I can see y'all what y'all talk about with the 58th and all that. I give that away for 1 year, but I wouldn't give up a first for 1 year though. No question about that. Yo, man, salute to the chat, man. We in here, man. Great show, great topic. We talked about the draft and all that stuff, man. And we just want to keep the thing fiery, man. And so salute to the chat, man. Y'all got some thoughts, keep throwing them in there. You know, it's getting late, but we're gonna get out of here in a few because you know, we gotta get on our grind tomorrow. BX been doing it all day. Now I gotta get it popping. But y'all keep it fiery, man. And give me some thoughts. Y'all want to chat about something or BX or Dana, you got something you want to throw out there and make it happen, bro.
I wanted to ask a question. It just, you know, it was just weird about the Olympics and all that. I haven't really been, you know, paying attention, but with the United States, you know, losing some of these FIBA games, right? Because the officiating is different. They can't get, you know, so much foul calls. Do you think that they're going to take a more serious approach? You know, do you think the NBA itself is going to take a more serious approach to adjusting the rules like they said they were in order, you know, like not only that you know, that the European talent could shine more in the NBA, but also that the Americans could also thrive more in the FIBA?
For it's what the call from a how would I say, what type of call are you talking about? Is scoring call, the defense calls, or
no? Like they're trying to get offensive plays are trying to get foul calls, but they're not. It's not happening for them. And also in FIBA, they tend to not really call the foul in transition like that. They're not really looking for it like that. So certain fouls they're letting go, and you know. It's different for the players. I don't know if you saw the Canada games. There was a lot of times where RJ was getting hit up, or Nikhil Walker Alexander was getting hit up on drives to the basket, and they, you know, it was just play on.
It was almost like that this year for RJ. I think the league, the NBA, done got so kind of soft when it comes to they constructed the league around a more offense type of game now. I think you can't even touch a player in the NBA nowadays. I mean, you know, and I think they're going to have to change that because, yeah, I mean, I can see the point where they might do that, but you know, like you look at the playoffs, they wasn't calling it in the playoffs. Now they was letting them cats. Oh my God!
Well, but some of the calls did kind of, you know, get called.
Yeah, I mean, they got to call them. They got to call them.
There were some games where, like, I think the ref may have forgotten that it was the playoffs or something. And they called the call. So now because they called it, and you know, players are just gonna be like, yo, you better be consistent the entire game. It messed up some of the playoff games. So that's why you know, you could see the officiating wasn't consistent every game.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I think like who just put in the chat? Let me go back to it. Yeah, right here. P. Ramos said the NBA is the entertainment. I don't see them making it harder to score in the NBA. That's what I said. I think that they done got soft in the NBA over the years. You know what I mean? The Jordan rules, it's a wrap. You know what I mean? So, you know that, and I think they done got different. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see. I think they're gonna. I think it's a more offense-minded game nowadays. That's what made it interesting with the Knicks this year. Because the NBA is so offense-minded, the Knicks took people by shock when they were playing defense like that. You know what I mean? Tom Thibodeau, they shocked a lot of people. Like, oh shit, we don't play against guys like this every night. So that's interesting. That's a good one, Dan. That's a good call. Maybe BS can answer that as well. I'm not sure if they would change it too much, but I knew they are trying to go away from all that. Some of that stuff they were doing with these
the foul baiting and whatnot.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, if let's say they do remove that, so now defensive players feel like they can play more aggressive defense. So now the offensive players have to be, you know, more skilled. They have to show more skill. I think it would make for a better product.
Okay. Yep. What do you think? Yeah.
I think so too. And one thing they really got to get rid of is that damn Euro step. That's got to go. I'm sorry.
What?
Yeah.
No, because if you
call me old fashioned relic, call me a relic.
If you remove the Euro step, you're automatically removing like 6 points from RJ's total. So we're not doing that. RJ loved the Euro. We're not doing
that.
Yeah. You know what? I think if they do that, then you might, and only once you might get a weaker product coming from overseas, because that's what they do.
Yeah,
so your product might be just a little weaker. That's how they do it. But you know what? I guess with the way Giannis do it, you know, so them long legs, man. It's like
I don't think they're trying to. I think they're trying to make the game as global as possible, man.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. But why are the only thing I could combat with that is why are we catering to the world? They should be catering to us. You know, we dominate the sport. So you know, for now, they gotta know how to play our rules. You know, so I don't know.
I don't think did we win the last Olympic?
Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah,
I don't really follow the Olympics basketball. I mean,
I think, but you know, the Euro step is not so much of a rule because it's not a walk; it's a 2-step. You know, you allow 2 steps. They just doing it different. You know what I mean? It's not an actual walk. You allow 2 steps, and even in our NBA.
And technically, what a lot of people tend to forget is the way they count the steps is 0, 1, 2. So it's not really 2 steps. You're allowed, you know, 3, but it's like 0, 1, 2. It's weird the way they count it. I've seen a lot of officiating videos on YouTube. You can look them up, and it's some weird stuff.
Here's a rule. Here's a rule that I would like to come back, but it's not. It's the hand check. I would like them to, you know, when you're able to put your hand and push the player and extend your hand out on the defensive end. I wish they allow that rule there. You know, none of that elbow. I used to like it back in the 90s when you used to extend your hand out and push the guy out a little bit more. And these guys are much stronger, more athletic. Why not allow that rule back?
Because I've seen a video where with Gilbert Arenas said something interesting, and he said that as far as the rules for the NBA, they've caught up with the offense, but defense hasn't been able to catch up to that. So I think that's the only way you can allow defense to catch up to the game like that. Is like you have to allow it to be more physical.
Yeah. Governor Free Ramos says yes. Hand check, please. Yeah, they need to allow that hand check, man. I mean, I think these guys are a political score. If these guys are scoring from the logo now and shooting, let the hand check in. You know,
Yep. Yeah, they done got a little bit too complacent with that offense. You do gotta, because you know basketball is a 2-way game. It's offense and defense.
Yeah,
you can't penalize a good defense team because you know they play good defense. That's not fair. You know what I mean? But like I said, when I was watching the NBA playoffs, them cats were letting them dudes play. They were like, okay, now this looked like the basketball I want to see. They was letting them cats play in that playoff because I was like, man, and you know, and even like with the RJ situation, RJ was he should have been to the free throw times like 4 or 5 more times a game last year. Yeah, but this cat was, but he wasn't getting them calls. You know what I mean? And so I think that just goes to show you that the league is interesting. We'll see though. Via Jedi, Derek
Oh
Harper,
yeah.
the same check. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I love that, man. That's the perfect. Otherwise, that's the perfect guy I was thinking about about the hand check when I was talking about it, is Derek Carper hand check, man. In those days, John Starks, man. Those are, yeah. They changed all those rules because of the Pistons and the Knicks, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Word. And
Yeah.
Rick Mahorn, you're right.
Yeah.
They did, man. They switched the game up. They had to, man, because they just went a little bit too far with it. Because I do think if you put your hand on a cat, you ain't no need to call no foul on that, man. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. And I'm a guy, and I love defense. I'm a defense first type of dude myself, and I love getting down, locking dudes down when I'm playing ball. Man, I just think that's the way to go. You know what? I'm gonna score on you, but you ain't scoring on me. That's how you want to do it. That's Tom Thibodeau on them. We gonna score on you, but you ain't scoring on us. That's why I'm glad he stuck to that motto. That's why I like about what Tibbs did. Tibbs stuck to the way the game's supposed to be played. And look what happened, man. That's where that thing got us. So when you got a hot dude and you score 101 to 101, you need that dude to stop that dude from scoring. You know what I mean? You need this to lock this dude down, not the game over. You know what I mean? So I love the defense mentality, man. Because listen, you score 130, but you give up 131, you lost. You need somebody to stop you from getting 31. And I think that the NBA, but that's a good question, Dan, because I just think that the way the league is now, man, is cats, like you said, cats dropping threes from the logo. You know what I mean? And it is like crazy how talented some of these cats is coming in this league is, man. It's only going to get better. The NBA is in good shape because they got a lot of nice young talent coming down the pipeline. That's why I do a good job with a lot of these draft picks. Don't get me wrong. I hope we hit a home run in the draft because I do want us to draft some of these guys and make them be part of it. I just don't want them to come out here and be some of the guys that we did draft. But I think Walt Perrin never nipped that in the bud, hopefully, and we get it popping. But yeah, man, it's salute to everybody, man. Great show tonight, man. I mean, it's on, man. It really was. And he said, Uncle Fulio said, if the Knicks had a gifted score, like KD or Booker, y'all wouldn't be calling for the hand check. Let's adapt to the current NBA and quit trying to go back. Yeah, you got a point there. You got a point there, but it's sometimes defense is a model that I believe that you build a team on. Like anybody can score, man. It's harder to play defense. Because defense rely more on effort to me. I mean, you got to be able to have the energy and the mindset to say, I'm not going to let this dude shoot 30 on me. I just think you got to have that mentality. You know what I mean? That don't let nobody beat you. Because that's like boxing. You could be the giftedest boxer in the world. What made Mike Tyson dope? Not that he had a good defense game. He had a good Floyd Mayweather, mad of him, but he had a good defensive game because defense is a part of it, and defense and win championship. Why to me, you look at the championship game that just played this year, in the NBA. The reason why them cats lost 4 games in a row, their defense wasn't nothing.
If you looked, especially that last game that they needed to win, Game 6. If you look, they needed DeAndre Ayton to be a defensive center.
Yeah,
he couldn't do it. And I understand what Uncle Fulio was saying in regards to that, but we're not opposing that as far as like to try and stop these gifted scorers or nothing, but it's more so that knowing that it's different now in the NBA, just the level of talent and the level of athlete that is the NBA player today. The rules have catered more so to offense, and it just hasn't given defense, an ability to, it hasn't given defensive players an ability to showcase what they can do. And part of being a defensive player is being a physical player. So it is what it is.
And it's what Allah says.
And it's also looking at, just the performance that the Americans have in FIBA, and knowing that the NBA, the league is a league. I don't know what else to say.
Yep. What you were saying, bitch, about to read something? I'm sorry.
No, it was a lot right says there was plenty of great offensive players in the hand check era course.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the
Yeah.
whole the number of Hall of Famers in that handshake era. I mean,
Right.
it's unbelievable. So yeah, absolutely. You know,
Yeah,
so
yeah. Salute D. Ross in the building. D. Ross came a little late, but salute to you, my brother. Yeah,
Mhm.
man. But I think the NBA is in a good place. I will like they're going to be a little bit of rule changes. They're going to make some adjustments because you know why? You can't have your best player foul out the game because he touched somebody. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
not only your best player, anybody. You know, you start letting you look at guys. They get a ticky tack foul. Now you got your star players sitting down because he just grabbed the jersey. Come on, man. You know what I mean? Now you put your team at a disadvantage because one of your key players had to go down because of a ticky tack foul. Get off that. You know, I agree with you. You can't. They gotta stop calling that crazy. If you want to call a foul, call a foul. But if a guy get past you and you kind of brush him on a pick, like you going like on a pick and roll, when you come around a pick and roll, you try to go around him and you bump him. Come on, man. Let it go. Let it go.
Or even like here's another thing. I don't. It depends on how they like if they were to take away the fast break foul.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Let's say they were to take it away. That like, hey, if you foul someone on the fast break, it's like I don't know a flagrant one or something. I don't know how they would change it.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
just mentioning something, but like if they changed it so now you have to get back on defense on the fast break,
Mm-hmm.
that that's something that could be different.
True. Yeah, real talk. Hey, yo, Magna, salute to Magna Carter, my brother. Thanks for chiming in. We appreciate you coming on this show. You know, and great. Thanks for the chat. He said, LA Lakers, the white get back, swap Kuz plus picks plus THT for a buddy, go all out for Lowry and try to get some mild mid-level gems like Melo. That makes sense, man. I agree with you for the Lakers. That makes sense. I definitely could see that. And I think they might go that route because I think the Lakers going to have to retool. They're going to have to retool. I just think that that this season was a disaster for them, and coming off that championship year, when it's harder to compete, I can see that happening for sure. But yeah, man, salute to everybody out there. Magnum, man, you already know what it, man. Like and subscribe to the channel. Everybody, what a great show, what a great chat, what a great panel, man. Y'all keep this thing buzzing. Y'all already know what it is, man. So y'all like and subscribe. Knicks Real Talk, man. We here for the fans, from the fans. We're gonna get it popping, man, going in the next thing. We looking forward to the draft coming up Thursday. Me and BX gonna host that thing on a live stream. Go on BX Sports Jedi, chime in there, chime in. We're gonna be on here live and we're gonna get it popping, play by play, pick by pick, trade by trade, whatever the case may be. Elton Lee, quick, he said Kyle Kuzma for OB in a 30-second.
That's interesting, Elton Lee. That's very interesting.
That's not what made me have that reaction.
I know what was that.
Allah Wise. Oh my God, he gave me a bad memory. Oh my God.
Looked like we lost to Trinity out handle boxing out in the last second. How
you remember that he boxed out Tobias Harris,
right?
Flopped, and we lost on the. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, man. But yo, man, we're gonna keep this thing buzzing. And real quick, salute to my man CT on the streets of Buzz. Salute CT. I forgot to shout you out, man, when you threw that chat in there. You already know my man on the Louder Down Under. That's one of the Knicks Real Talks regulars. He's a panel member. He family. So salute to CT. The streets is buzzing for sure. Quickly for 25-30 is gonna be tough. Yeah, you ain't kidding. Yeah, absolutely, man. But yeah, man, we had a great show tonight, man. I'm thanking everybody for coming on here, man. And we're gonna do this again, man, and get it popping. Scary good potential, absolutely. Carter, I agree with you, man. I hate to get off because I know you guys are here grinding it out. I really do. I hate to leave you guys. I do if I can stay, which I can. I'm saying, but I know once my co-host got to get ready. He got an early day and everything. But listen, man, y'all keep coming with this stuff, man. We be back on Wednesday, whatever case. BX guy, if you bilingual, you want to hear some bilingual talk, you go on Bronx Sports Jedi tomorrow night. You got the bilingual program popping off. Then I'll be back on Wednesday. We get it popping again. Then BX got the Bronx Jedi Sports Network show on Thursday. And we'll be back again. We're going to do this thing continuous. And we get it popping, man. And let the panel get a thing in here, man. Y'all holler at me and let me know what's up. Dan, talk to me, man. We appreciate you, my brother.
Yo, it's always good talking NBA. Always good talking that Knicks talk with you guys.
Yes, sir.
I know the people in the chat are confused. I'm okay with whatever that happens in this off season. Like I know a lot of people think I'm being negative, but I'm always just asking questions. I always
Absolutely.
have to be the contrarian because truthfully, I trust the front office. So it may be one person's view or it may be someone else's view. I'm okay with whatever happens this off season. Trust the front office, and from then on, we're gonna have a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
The Knicks are not
absolutely.
going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
much is known.
Yeah, yeah. BX, my brother.
Yeah, man. I want to thank everybody. I'm looking up when Argentina's next game is. It's going to be tomorrow at 12 midnight, 12:30 midnight tomorrow. They play Argentina. Yeah, tomorrow I got the bilingual program, but I think I might switch it or add the MMA due to the fact that Thursday is the NBA draft party show that we're gonna have here. We're gonna be on live coverage, so I might do that, or I might just do the MMA Tuesday. So if you guys, I'm gonna break down the card that happened with the MMA on Saturday, and also the upcoming Bellator Grand Prix. Well, me and my son will be there. Dan, I know you're a big MMA guy. We were going back and forth last night. I would love for you to come on to speak with my son on that. And I'll cut it real quick with that. Just anyone that wants to get on that, I definitely would love you having as a panelist there, so you could talk with him. And man, thank you guys, everyone in the chat. I appreciate it. Like I said, we'll be there Thursday for the live party on both networks, on both of our channels, and we want to, live instant reaction, to have the draft board, how everything's going to shape out, trade wise, X Y Z. We're just going to get it popping. It's going to be a draft party here, virtual party, and I want to see everyone in here if you guys could possibly come. And please join us and let's have fun, man. Let's have fun. Let's see all the different names on there. We're gonna be back and forth looking, and it's gonna be a freestyle type of thing. Yeah, as Justin, absolutely, that was amazing, and we'll talk about that on our program. I definitely Bronx Sports Jedi Network. Please subscribe, like, and hit the notification because I definitely would love to see you guys come out there because I definitely would like to. We do have some great takes on the fights, and watch our old videos about it with as a sample size so you can see what we're talking about. Word of just the word of mouth, and the proof is in the video. So I appreciate you guys for the support. Divine, thank you so much for allowing me to speak on and promoting that here on the
You know
program.
it.
And yeah, and you guys have a wonderful evening. Let's get it there. Let's do it. And let's get it done, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Salute to everybody chiming in. Justin Alva, Magna, everybody, man. The chat, y'all know that's where it's at. The ones who came in here, just got in. We appreciate y'all coming in, joining the show, being part of the family. This is a family show. We Knicks centric, but we get down in here. The chat is where it's at. Y'all already know. D. Roz, Pudge, Frank, all of the local regulars, man, a lot wise. I can go on, but MAGA and Justin, y'all make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button, and always come on and join the family and bring your thoughts in here, man. And that's what it is, man. And Species Button said, did Luca play already? I'm not sure.
No, tomorrow.
Tomorrow night. But yeah, man. And in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Have a great week going forward. Take care of yourselves. Do the right thing. Stay safe. COVID-19 still out there. Y'all already know my motto, man. Y'all protect yourselves and just get this thing together. And listen, man, we love you dudes, man. Y'all already know the chat is where it's at. Everybody out there on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Reddit, wherever you're streaming in from. Thank you for chiming in. Knicks Real Talk, The Night Show, Divine, BX Sports Jedi, Dan A. We appreciate y'all. And Chris out there, Oklahoma, thank you for coming on the panel tonight. We're going to get out of here, man, but we're going to get into this thing and get it popping, man. Salute. And we'll see y'all on the next show, man, for sure.
Yo, salute. Knicks Real Talk, man. Divine. About to get out my grind, hop in the Black Knight. About to make it happen, man. Knicks Real Talk, we all over the place. About to get it popping. Divine, Bronx Jedi 7-6. The night show, the morning show. Knicks Real Talk, man. About to get in the Black Knight. Knicks Real Talk, let's get it popping. We hopping like topping in the Jumpman brand. Ain't no stopping. Divine and Bronx Jedi 7-6. We lit from Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and all that shit. We number uno with the promo that blow like nitro. Now the streets are buzzing, so we flow with the night show. So spike them likes below. That thumbs up, run them up, and you double up. Cause it's Knicks Real Talk, and we on the come up. We'll salute to the cats in the chat. That's where it's at. Now you place the chats, we're gonna paste that under space where our faces at. We lace these cats with news, notes, stats. Game recap, no hyperbole, we straight facts. In fact, we say it lit like a candle throughout the handle on the panel. We violent, so subscribe to the channel. Knicks Real Talk. Knicks Real Talk.